Lovely. Good evening, everybody. It's Beej's Backlog, as you probably heard a few minutes ago. If you've been sitting around here, yeah, the burst of unmuted was because I had my finger on the mute button to undo the mute, and realized that since I had already pushed it all the way down, we were waiting for the mouse to respond.
Don't do it. There it goes again.
It's just going to do that. We're going to figure out why it's doing that.
Angry.
We're going to get rid of the probably, but yeah. So.
All right.
We already tried switching batteries 3 times, but it doesn't matter.
We'll figure it out later.
It's Beej's Backlog.
It's not the mouse that's running the game, it's a different mouse.
I'm
so
Beej.
It's not that important. I'm Heather.
This is Shadowrun Dragonfall Director's Cut, and we've been playing this for umpteen number of weeks. Probably not as bad as long as we've been playing Paper Mario.
Ever.
Yeah.
Well, no, not yet, but I'm sure we'll get there.
Yeah.
I've
really enjoying it.
We've been playing this game for 6 months. 3 months? 2 months? It's been a couple months, right?
Sure, probably.
Sure, why not?
It's one of those Omega Lyron. It's one of those laser sensors where it's really far set back.
Stop touching the mouse.
So Logitech M310 for those of you who like hearing about that stuff. But Arclight, I'm glad you enjoyed the sketch. It was a lot of fun to help make.
See it?
And be in,
To actually see it.
What's that?
The sketch.
Arclight apparently did. Said Arclight has been having Satan's own arsehole of a day.
Mm.
So, Real Gamer Cow, we are indeed playing Hyrule Warriors still. We actually played it before we came over for the stream.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, we got another new costume for Link.
We've done the adventure map, except for ranking like one thing, which we've decided to come back to later because it's frustrating.
Yep.
We've got all the Scatullas from all the original stuff and the map and the adventure map.
Mm-hmm.
We've got all the heart pieces from the story mode. We're pretty much done story mode on normal and hard mode.
What dis?
I'll probably go back and play it on hero mode eventually because I want to. So we're on the Master Quest map?
We're on the Master Quest map.
Because we did the rewards map, which we haven't ate everything on, but we've played through, and we'll aid stuff later when we're not so scared of boss rush mode.
Mm-hmm.
Boss rush mode is scary, even on 2-player.
My options are...
I do hope they'll bring out the third DLC soon, though. But I mean, we've got like 2 more maps to go over, so we've got time.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Arclight gives you the advice, do not let people at the blood clinic expose you to another person's blood. Leads to a long wait at the doctor's office wondering if you just got Hep or HIV, but you're fine, and I'm glad to hear that, because that
sounds scary.
That's a long
and not fun
wait.
At all.
So, here's the thing. The safe house has been marked yellow, and the U-Bohn's been marked yellow as well. And we have the climb down, like we have the way out through the safe house that is available for me to go through. And
I can't hear any of the game's music.
Can't you?
No. Can you?
Yeah?
I can't hear a single... Am I plugged in?
Hang on. Can you hear your own voice?
Sure, yes.
Can you hear it now? Did anything get different?
Nothing is different. I have dead headphones.
Any better now?
I hear nothing.
Oh, trade me headphones for a second.
That is sad.
You has a sad?
That is a sad.
I would be sad too. Oh yeah.
Oh, whoa, that's way different.
Yeah, your headphones are not responding for whatever reason. Hang on a second.
Yeah. First you sabotaged my remote.
Oh, that's why.
Crossing streams. Now you sabotage my headphones.
We grabbed a different set of.
Wait.
There are so many wires.
Whoa. Wow.
See those?
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's the ones we were using. You can say shit on stream. Okay. Rat shit, bat shit, dirty old.
No.
69 assholes.
I've been informed that's a swear, so I'm not going to anymore.
That was a. I think that's super interesting, actually.
Wow, the world is so much different when there's sound on.
Now you're not listening through like the muffled hood of. It's not. It's like
I can actually hear you.
It's like the difference is like when you're in Edmonton or Grand Prairie and you're walking through like the winter and all you can hear is a trudge, but nothing else because you've got all of your shit on your head to keep you from hearing anything. So, but no, there's when we did the Take This stream, Heather had said shit on the stream.
I said it 3 times.
3 times. What made this super interesting to me is the idea that the meaning of words, right? You only really get what a word means contextually when you've established a context.
Yes.
And so when the context is established, that like if I said the word table was a curse word to my kids and they're never allowed to say the word table, then they'll grow up thinking that I can never say that word. But then they'll hear other people saying that word and they're like, oh, well, I guess their parents are more lenient and they're allowed to say the word table.
Yes.
So then you start saying it, but you have that weird thing of that I shouldn't actually be saying this word out loud. Mm-hmm. So your thing was like, when you're growing up, like all curse words were all equally bad.
There's a part in the stream where I'm like, since when did shit become a swear word? And I'm not doing that thing, because we have a friend who will do these kinds of things, where I'm like, oh, I'm going to argue that PG-13 means I'm allowed to say fuck once or whatever, because that's a thing, because I don't understand how those ratings work. Mm-hmm. But I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'm going to be argumentative and be like, no, that's not a real swear. I legitimately didn't think it was a swear, because in my household growing up, very the word hell was a swear word. Yeah. And then I learned later it's like, well, not really. It's not really a swear because it's the name of a place and you can talk about hell. It's not like you can't say the word. So I just assumed shit was like one of them. Mm-hmm. And then I got informed the other day that apparently that's not true. That shit is a super swear. Not super swear, I guess, but a swear of some sort. And we weren't supposed to swear on that stream. Yeah. Which was funny because I thought other people were swearing and I didn't catch it. So I'd say shit, and then there'd be a thing and be like, oh, swearing, and
nobody knew who said a curse word.
Why are people swearing? That must be someone else, because someone must have said fuck.
Yeah. Which is the last word you can't say on TV,
and then
kind
like,
of thing.
Oh no, that's a swear, and I'm like, ah.
Though it is funny because
shit. Oh no, wait, that's
and I was saying to you, in like CBC, you can say anything you want on CBC, but there is a watershed, which is kind of, I think, an inherited, like it's the BBC has a watershed, and we have a watershed mark here in Canada, I think, as well. It's like you can say anything, you can show bare breasts on the CBC. You can actually show full frontal nudity, both men and women, I believe, on the CBC, and as long as it's past a certain time of night, you're fine. Because then it's like, well, now we know the kids have been put to bed and they won't be scandalized by, male or female nudity. Mm-hmm. So it is one of those things where culturally there are different things that are allowed in different countries. And so, yeah, it's... Yeah,
but, someone brought up the thing about, like, I think it... when they called me out on it, they said swear jar. And I was like, you know what? That's a great idea. Because even though I was unintentional in it, and this is a charity thing, mm-hmm. I will donate money to the charity as my swear jar thing. So yeah. I donated a certain amount of money per swear, which is why I know I did it 3 times. And I sent them a little note saying that. I don't know if anyone will ever really read that. But, oh, well. Doesn't matter.
They may or may not know what that's all about. I hope that,
I thought, if I had known beforehand, I would have tried a lot harder not to have done it. Right. Because I didn't realize that was my fallback. Right. Because I know Kathleen says F as a replacement, and we use the term busing or whatever during Desert Bus. But I never thought I needed a replacement because I don't really swear that often. Mm-hmm. I do. I used to not swear at all, really, until like a few times when I would get really, really angry and I'd mutter under my breath. But more than the last, I'd say 5 years, I swear a little bit here and there. But as far as I knew, a lot less than apparently I really do. Mm-hmm. Whoops.
So I am attempting to spend some of money on cyberware because F it. This is who I've kind of been building, so we might as well do it. So enhanced articulation, which costs very little essence, and I can put it in the legs, adds +1 dodge and +1 quickness. Or we can go with, like, I mean, this isn't going to help for me because, I mean, I don't really give a crap about throwing weapons, but it adds movement and adds dodge as well. I'm looking at everything that's really expensive because it's like, ooh, look at this, $4,000 for Shiawase Bone Lacing Kevlar, adds +1 body, +1 strength. But if I scroll down a little bit further, like, there is another one that was like +1 body and +1 something else. So I've just been trying to pick out some of the cooler stuff that might be more fun to jam on our body here. Jam on our bod.
I do think if you're going to get anyone to swear, Mario Kart is a really good game to get them to start.
Yeah, that was more of the fun.
Because when we played that game once before, like a couple months ago when we borrowed it. We were both very angry about certain AIs.
Yeah.
But I would say there's only been one time where I've like done a string of curse words for, I would say, about maybe 10-15 minutes straight. And that was once when I worked in the back room at you know where. It doesn't exist anymore, so maybe I can talk about it.
Yeah.
Cotton Ginny.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Where a thing happened, and I think we had the merchandiser was there, and I was doing stock, and then there was also that new manager who decided everything should be her way, even though she didn't last like a month.
Yeah.
And I was in the back room, opening boxes, getting stock out, and it was just like underneath my breath because I really, really wanted to say all those words to her.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the thing to be careful about is that things that you think that you're saying under your breath, sometimes you're not actually saying them under your breath.
There was no one actually in the back room with me, so I was safe. But I was very angry.
I bet. So this is tailored pheromones. Influences others subconsciously, granting the user a subtle edge. Adds +1 charisma. See, there's a few things in here that are kind of like, I'd love to be able to just like erase stuff. So it's like, oh yeah, I don't want that anymore. I want to have something else different. Let's have a look at everything. Okay, available for this slot. Not going to worry about head. Anything for eyes. You can go with the eye data jack, or we can add to hits. That's kind of looks like fun. Body stuff. I'd like to go back to just seeing everything. How do I go back to just seeing everything? Reset. There we go. No, apparently I can't go back to that because now I can only see like these things. All right, so a body. We could go with adding charisma by adding the pheromones, or we could that adds armor. We can go with stuff for my arms. That adds +1 quickness, +1 strength. But that only leaves enough for like some of these other things. Toxin exhaler. Close range poison attack. Seems like fun. I could still add that if I wanted to. Let's see what else is there in here. Encephalon from my head. Then I have to like do something. I'd have to do that, and then I lose my data jack, which is no good. Unless I set up my eye data jack or do something different. Tabelnak.
Oh, Lady Thrimble Trimmer. Thank you for subscribing.
Thank you. That's really cool. You guys, a lot of you, like we're up to storm count of 40. That's really cool. So clearly we've missed a couple recently.
Some of that was during the sketch thing.
Ah, okay.
Right? Like there were a lot going on, which is why Graham read them all off at once.
Right.
There was a lot. I don't know how many. I don't think all of those were during that portion.
Oh, okay.
So there may have been some during Checkpoint or whatever was going on after Checkpoint, because I think it was Alex and Kathleen were playing a thing.
Right.
So it was different than normal.
Alright, so what goes in my leg slots? Enhanced articulation, which adds dodge and quickness, or I can add like 8 HP, 1 quickness, and 1 dodge. which seems like a pretty clutch way. Wait, so that adds 1 dodge, 1 quickness, but I lose less essence. Oh, that's why you pick that, because this adds
Oh no, people in the
hit
chat
points.
are swearing in French now.
Yeah,
It's the only French one I'm aware of, actually.
which is...
That one.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not gonna say it out
All
loud.
the good curse words that my understanding in French are all based
They're
on...
all religion based,
Yeah, they're all
aren't they?
religion based,
Like they
yeah.
don't really actually make sense in English, as far as we know.
Well, you wouldn't...
like it wouldn't derive the same in French.
You would wonder
Isn't-
why you would be saying that. You know, it's like, oh, by the church. It's like...
I did have an English kid, like British,
Mhm.
swear at me. I think he was 8, and apparently the things he said at me were extremely terrible, but I honestly couldn't tell. And
Hooray.
I told him off, and I told him that his swears were like awful because they were so weak.
He's just bad at doing it.
Which was really funny because I think it probably confused him.
Says you're bad at cursing and you
Confused
should
him.
feel bad.
Well, I realized he was cursing me out. I just didn't realize like if they were awful or not. So I told him so, and I was like, my mom curses harder than you do or something, and he got really weirded out by
Cold.
that. It was funny.
All right, so let's do muscle augmentation, and actually let's go find that one again. Okay, let's add muscle augmentation. That's 1 + 1 quickness + 1 strength. That leaves us with any of these other things we can install for now. We have eyes, body, another arm, and 2 legs open. I'm kind of liking. I kind of wanted to go for the eye data jack because it frees up something for my head to do. Where is the eye data? Yeah, see, if we did this, we add an eye data jack, and then we can take the thing out of our head, and then we can actually put something in our head. Because eyes are mostly just like to add. We could take this, and it would be like, oh, that's 6% to hit, which would be not so bad improvement on us being able to hit stuff. But what else? What other things go in our head? Pain editor, which is +1 willpower, -1 intelligence. There's the cerebral booster, which adds another intelligence. There's the encephalon, which adds another intelligence. So they're mostly just intelligence boosters.
Okay, so do you want to bother then?
I wonder,
Do you want to be smart?
do I want to be smart?
Do you want to be smart?
I wonder if I'd be better off.
Maybe you is better if you're not smart.
Oh, I could.
The world is a better place when you're not smart sometimes.
High energy flash bulbs hidden in the cyber eye, capable of temporarily blinding an opponent. So I basically just go.
So
My eyes emit light.
Seems so mean.
It's super weird.
Oh.
So we could also up my charisma, or we could add in this thing that lessening trauma from recent wounds, which I guess is like a self-healing thing.
Well, it says lessening. It doesn't say regenerating.
Yeah, exactly. It just means I get.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can also offload the data jack to our hand. I mean, we're supposed to be building a decker, right? Like.
That's what I thought the plan was.
Yeah, that's what I was supposed to be doing.
So why don't we do that?
And I was really concentrating on like charisma stuff too, so we could do
You
that.
always concentrate on charisma.
I do. It's definitely a part of me. Look at that, 4750. We came in right at the. That's only 1 essence. That's
Huzzah, we can buy
0.5.
gum now.
Yeah, we can go buy some gum. 3 packs of gum.
Oh, yay.
Or actually, well, I know. Actually, I have no idea how much gum costs here, but like soy cap is like 50, but
Well, then gum has to be like what, 2?
maybe 10.
Maybe 10.
It doesn't make much sense, but all right. So that adds a charisma, and that gives me +1 quickness, +1 strength, and then when we earn some more money, we'll come back and change out the head. Maybe we'll put the data jack in my eye, or maybe we'll put it in my arm, because the eye one is 0.5, but the arm one is 0.3 essence I get to keep. Well, it doesn't really matter if I keep a lot of essence or not anyway, because it doesn't like I need a lot of it.
Nobody needs a lot of essence.
No. It's too bad, because it's like in your friggin' hand. It doesn't have to use your whole arm, but maybe I'll put it in my eye.
Oh, essence only travels in my hands,
Yeah.
not in my arm.
Alright, let's do that. That sounds like fun.
Alright. If you say so.
Affects the magic rating of your character. Very important for spellcasters. Each point of magic increases spell cooldowns. You can have less than 1 essence. Neato.
Cool.
Confirm. Tinker, tinker, tinker. Alright, we're done.
I should go. You're a creep.
I bought some cyberware.
Run away now. Going. I don't remember where we were last time.
Well, if we take the van,
we finished a thing.
Yeah, but remember how we kind of unlocked unlocked Iger's loyalty mission and Glory's.
There were two.
Yeah.
Right, we're gonna do all the side quests.
Yeah, so let's do Glory's.
Because who cares about main storylines?
Exactly. No, we're gonna side quest the shit out of everything.
Side quests.
I want to play everything in this game because I don't intend to come back. You know what's actually really cool? Something I really love about Twitter. Catherine Cross. She is a.
She's a person. Yes.
I don't know what her actual title is. She's an academic. She's a researcher.
Okay. So she's a knight. Gotcha. I
don't know if she does. If she's a sociologist or she's a psychologist or what her thing is. But
she's a brain person.
She does. It looks. I think she's a sociologist, but
okay.
I think she's super interesting. And she was brought to my attention by Vivian Games.
Yes.
Or Vivian James, I guess, rather.
Well, depends on... Yeah, okay. Depends on how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
Whoa. All my sound went away.
Did it? I might because I bumped your...
yeah, there we go.
I'm bumping your thing. Let me
You're taking away my sound!
Sorry.
I need my ears to hear.
Alright, so that's everybody we need. Now let's go back just a minute. Yeah, she has all this, crazy shit. Antique cyber arm.
All the antiques.
Yeah.
Finest.
I got some cyberware, and now we're gonna be buddies.
Oh, cyberware buddies.
And I've got the grenade launcher.
Okay, no, that's just for you.
So, okay, Harrow's compound in Tübingen.
Okay, so.
Yeah, to get back to Catherine Cross. So, I've been reading a lot of her stuff, and I found that a lot of it is kind of she tweets a lot in a row.
Yes, I've heard.
Yeah, and I was gonna stop following her, but then I just decided to keep following her because it's interesting to read all this stuff. And I did get cyberware. Yes, I did Omega Lyron. She also plays Dragonfall.
Oh, cool.
And she's
I heard she was a gamer.
And she's super into Goombas.
Oh, that's right.
Right?
I remember that.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
So, and when I found out she was into Goombas, I sent her a link to your emotional Goombas. She's like, those are so cute.
Yeah, I sent her one too because I didn't know you had sent her one and she'd favorited it.
And then I sent a thing to her. I sent her the giant blanket you did for that you donated to Desert Bus 4.
Yep.
And she's like, that's super cool. And people, I guess, sent her some Goombas to cuddle as well, which is kind of neat.
Goombas are the best.
And so, but then she mentioned Dragonfall, and I'm like, oh, sweet. What was your build? And she's like, well, I built a shaman. And she'd said whatever. She's like, but I'm playing it again, and I'm going to play a street sam. And I'm like, I can't. I tried to play it. I'm trying to build a decker, but I keep effing it up because I'm building a decker / samurai. It doesn't really work. And so we talked. We only had about 2 or 3 tweets back and forth. But I'm like, this is what I love about Twitter. So it's like, here's this person who I follow, and I really do like the stuff that she writes. But I also kind of felt like our planes would never intersect for any reason whatsoever. There's the place that I live and the place that she lives, these things we're never going to actually come in contact with, but because of these things, we actually come in contact.
You've some intersection of
we have
interests.
We have interest that intersect. And it's if it wasn't for a bunch of other things, it's I would never have found her Twitter account, and there's no reason for her to respond to me, but she did, and I was kind of actually that's really cool. So I just really enjoyed that. I was like, this is really the cool thing about Twitter, is that somebody who, you like and respect for their work, it's they also have these interests. It turns out the two of you might actually get along, talk about these kind of things. So
sure. Maybe.
So I really like that.
I mean, you might find that you don't like each other's personalities, even if you have a common link like that.
Yeah.
It's really weird because I've found people, I've met people who I have everything in common with.
Mm-hmm.
And we do not click. In fact, we would be better off in different rooms.
Yeah.
Far, far away.
Despite the fact that you share all these interests,
because sometimes being interested in the same thing doesn't make you friends.
That's absolutely true.
I've got one friend who is Carrie and I, we have the sewing thing, we have the college thing, right?
Yeah, you both went to college together. Did the same
outside of that, she would have been a person I would never have hung out with in high school. None of our other interests intersect at all, and even in the sewing thing, our ideas are very different.
Mm-hmm.
And she's one of my best friends. Yeah. So
Yeah, Real Gamer Cow just got his. I don't know your genders, by the way, everybody. So I might just say his a lot, unless it's like Lady Rianne. I would say her. It's just I'm making some assumptions, but Real Gamer Cow just got my third DM from Chris Cluey today, and I was pretty happy. I'm like, geez, I would be happy too if Chris Cluey was talking to me like that. I don't really even follow American football or like that interest in that, but reading some of the stuff that he's had to write, like I'm just like, wow, that would be chill to be able to chat with you like that. I like what Lunatic says, being able to chat to an internet somebody that I really like while they play video games on stream. It's like, that would be cool. It's
really cool when I mean I do it with like sometimes I'll say puns at people, and when they favorite them it makes me happy because I'm like, they thought it was funny too. Yeah. Even though I think they're terrible.
Okay, so
we are going.
Harrow's left the building. It's time for us to make our way inside. So Harrow's not here.
Okay.
We're just going to make sure we got enough gear to take care of ourselves. I got 2 trauma kits. I did not buy any extra trauma kits.
Yeah, see, Goat Prince is right. Goat Prince 2 is right. They is a serviceable gender-neutral pronoun.
That's a good point.
If you're
I should just
concerned.
be using they, and that will probably be effective.
They, them, I guess.
Oh, thank you, 21 Snave 96. I have karma available. Oh, good. We get to do more of this. Goodness. We have 18 karma. I forgot.
Menu game level up.
Oh, the next part of the menu game. I love this.
All right. Menu game.
So charisma went up 1 anyway, but we could add more charisma. We could add more charisma and take take my third thing. It seems a little ridiculous though. Let's revert. I don't know if I need to go so high as to get that high, but maybe it's a good idea. I feel like we should put 1 into intelligence. Maybe I should take that. We got 6 left.
Well, thank you, 21 Snave 96. I'm glad you're willing to follow us.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah.
If I was gonna, if we were to take any etiquettes here at this point. Because I only get to claim an etiquette if we actually go up that one.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to think, should I take this, the Mark Target 3, or should we pull that back? Should I get more, get a bonus on the hit points for the med kit? Should we actually go this high and take another one? And if we did, maybe street, because maybe having street etiquette would help because they're street kids. If I can etiquette my way through part of this mission, that might not be a bad idea either. Because these kids aren't going to be runners. Maybe gang etiquette, but I have a feeling street's going to be more appropriate. Maybe go street. So we'll actually take another etiquette now.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Real Gamer Cow has said that someone brought up a great point to me the other day. What would you call an aunt-uncle that would be non-gendered? There's parent, cousin, sibling, child, but nothing for parent, sibling.
Oh, you mean like aunt and uncle?
Aunt is feminine. Uncle is masculine.
Yeah.
Right? Those are gendered. Parent, cousin, sibling, child do not denote a gender.
Yeah, English doesn't have a word for that, perhaps.
Yeah. I mean, it does depend on the language as well, right? I see that some people are talking about, objects. Are they feminine or masculine? And that's, French does that and some other languages, which I always thought was the weirdest thing when you had to decide that something because doesn't French also have a thing where it's if you have more women in the room, you use a feminine verse, whereas if you have an equal amount of men or women, you're supposed to use the masculine one? It's
a good question because my take on it was that if you had if there is women in the room but one man enters, you use the masculine plural.
Oh, it could be that way too. I don't really remember much about languages.
It's elles sont, you would say that if it's all women that you're referring to or that are in a room, but it's if there's one man and 300 women, it's ils sont. You have to say, in French you use masculine unless there's no men. The masculine becomes the default.
Oh, right, if they're all women, if there's at least one man. Okay,
Yeah.
but still, like, that, having to keep... You bumped my thing again!
I'm sorry.
Give me back my sound.
I'm trying not to. Hang on. Let's do that.
Ah,
Is that better?
yes.
I don't think I actually bumped it that time, but whatever.
Run away.
Yeah, I'll put that over there.
But the idea that language does that it has... That it has that in the first place is really weird
Ooh.
to me.
Despite the horrifying stories that Glory told you about this place, something about it feels strangely comforting in the back of your mind. Insidious voices whisper you could stay here forever.
You could be here forever.
I might be here forever.
Stay here forever.
This is interesting.
It's beautiful here. All rainy and shit.
Glory gestures with a limb of chrome and steel. When I was a kid, when I was whole, the pull was irresistible. Yes, I can feel it's almost pleasant. Should I ask her if she's ready? I mean, she kind of looks like she's ready, but... Like, I want to be considerate of her.
I don't want to say that it's pleasant. Because I feel like that's not taking her...
Should we just do the second one? It
Yeah.
doesn't change what we have to do.
Yeah.
You're going to see some terrible things. Fear still exists to prey on the young, and we're going to have to come to face to face with that. Are you ready for this? You see the young, how young do you mean? You know what we're walking into. Don't worry about me, I'm solid. How about more information?
Good night, Sector 88.
Night, Sector 88. Glory whispers in your ear, Johnny, it's time for your shift now. Psycholioi. I think that's how you say that. Click this, I guess. Let's find some more information. Teenagers mostly 16 through 18 with a rare exception. So not that young again, not children. That's young enough to make you feel uneasy. Wow, that's an interesting choice.
Yeah. I feel like they're not children, though. Like,
Yeah, I feel like they're just on the cusp of...
Granted, they're young, but they're not...
Yeah.
They're not 5.
Yeah.
They're not 10.
It's a time when Harrow played with luring younger children here, but he found to be more trouble than worth. I bet younger child more likely someone come looking for them. Jesus.
Young kids are interesting.
Yeah. Well, I like that, the younger they are, the bigger chance... Psycho Boy, that's what it is. I see. The younger they are, the better chance somebody comes looking for them. Like, that's really a good point. So, and it's like you have kids that are already been on the street for a while, and they're ready to, and...
Anything.
Yeah, and people
Anything,
don't care,
yeah.
right? So... Addie Pie's telling us about Romanian. The plural version for sibling uses either masculine for all males, feminine for all females, or masculine for a mix of both. Yeah, see, that's...
Yeah.
I think that's a thing about...
That's one of the complaints, right, is the fact that in almost, I think, practically every language, masculine is the default,
Well,
right?
I would... Okay, I don't know enough about Japanese, and actually, well, Japanese is funnier, but I don't know enough about like Chinese or languages from India or whatever.
Take away the language aspect. We consider culturally underlying that male is dominant.
Yes. Yeah, in pretty much every case.
In every case.
Yeah.
The fact that you get a female character in a game is like, oh, hey, awesome. But
Yeah.
you always start with the male. Right.
Well, in general, assuming that the man is default.
Default. Yeah.
In just general senses, it's like when you say
the Bible does it too.
The thing about a man and his son are riding in a car and they crash and the man dies instantly and the boy's taken to the hospital, and then when he gets there the doctor says, I can't operate on this boy, he's my son. Mm-hmm. How is that possible? And I've been in a classroom where we've all sat, including me, we all sit around like, maybe it was like an adoptive father and its biological father, and it's like, we all like, we think we're so smart because we're trying to think outside the box for this.
Think of something really,
and the teacher says, the doctor's his mother, and you're like, oh Christ, because you realize this is exactly how insidious that is, right? I mean, yeah, he has 2 dads and everything. Oh, Finnish is gender neutral. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I do remember the thing being like, oh well, maybe he has both of his parents are dads. I remember that being maybe that's the solution.
Don't worry about me, I'm solid.
Which feels like, oh yeah, I'm being progressive and I understand, right? And it's like, well, I mean, that's a solution. It could have been.
We keep hitting the table and it keeps...
I hit the table.
Yeah, but it keeps making the mic vibrate, which is not good. please don't hit the table because it...
You and Ian are obsessed with putting the controller on vibrate and hitting the table.
Yeah.
I smacked the table a couple of times.
Oh, that's why it's vibrating.
Have a hissy fit.
This was not tight. The mic thing was not tight, so I want to just stop that. So, but now, if we hit the table, the mic doesn't vibrate. So it's all good now. Take them away from this place before Harrow can turn them into monsters. Keep them from following my footsteps. Do we rescue kids here? But I think we should also try to kill Harrow, or should we just concentrate on that? And if it comes up, then it comes up. Ruck Doc, what we really probably need is like a boom mic. Would be lovely to have actually like a. But then the thing is, where do you put it and how do you mount it? And we're thinking about things. Don't worry, this is an evolving process. We actually moved this desk. We're going to talk about a little more things. We moved this desk from being against a wall on that side to being on the wall on this side, and it's made a world of difference into how we actually do things here. It's so much easier to use this room as a result of that, but we had to do it the other way because of the way we had all the consoles set up. But now that when we came back from Desert Bus, we made this one little change and we kind of routed things differently, and it's like, actually, this is a lot easier to use now. So, any suggestions on how we should approach this? Let's start there. I think that's okay.
So how much would the fanboys rage if the Doctor became female? Oh, that's a Doctor Who thing.
Yeah, I don't know enough about that.
Probably a lot. I don't know.
I mean, hell, I'd love I think everyone talking about Idris Elba being the next James Bond, I think that would be super rad. I think it would be really, really interesting to watch.
There's been talk about a female James Bond?
No, Idris Elba is, he plays, he's a black guy. He played a character in The Wire. Thor. Remember from Thor? Remember the guy who watches the Bifrost? I forget his name.
Him.
Yeah.
He's cool.
Yeah, he's super cool.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah. All right. Harrow keeps the shrine in the compound. It's the key to his control over the cultists. We're going to purify the shrine and break the control, and then we're going to lead those kids out of here. Tell me more about the shrine. It's a lump of rock about as tall as I am, inscribed with ruins encrusted with bones. Power comes from the entity that Harrow bound in stone, something very old and very dangerous. Toxic spirit in many ways is the heart of this place. Which you can hear whispering in your minds, those are the spirit's voices. It saps the will of anyone who sets foot on these grounds. We can't see these kids until the shrine is dealt with. They'll fight us, so we try. Okay, a few more details. So how do we purify the spirit? Something like this will be easier just to show you. I've got everything we need right here. When time comes to conduct the ritual, before I can do that, we have to face the spirit in its own terms. It's going to be dangerous. Why attempt to purify the spirit? Why not just kill it? Spirit's fingers in the minds and orders of every kid in the compound. Those kids will get hurt if we kill it. They might even be killed. We can't take the risk. We cleanse the adversary's corruption from it, withdraw from their minds willingly, and then we get them out of here. If the shrine controls people here, then how do you have anything to feel guilty about? Nothing that you did under Harrow was really your fault. Ooh. Her face flushes red and she breaks eye contact with you. Wish it were true, but it isn't. Before I ran away, First Still was nothing more than a cult personality revolved around Harrow. He didn't magical help to keep us here. We loved him. We believed in the message he created the shrine's insurance policy. Oh, I see. And you think something changed and he started abusing the shrine's power? And I think that my escape was the cause of that change. And I know Harrow. Oh, I see. When I ran abused his ego, his charisma and charm had failed him, and my disappearance rubbed his nose in that failure. He wouldn't be willing to chance something like that again, not when he had the means to prevent it. So she knew. She left, but she still... Oh, okay. It was created before she left, and now she's pretty much sure that he's using it now. Okay. Alright, they're like puppets. Not exactly, it's more insidious. The shrine's influence drug lowers your inhibitions and make you compliant. If you were to stay here a couple of days, you'd fall in love with this place and you wouldn't know why. All Harrow's bullshit would start to make sense, you'd be happy. In essence, all the street kids are here addicted to this place. That makes them a threat, yes, but also makes them victims. Okay, what we're going to do in there, fine by me. Actually, no, I think I know everything we're going to need to know. I'm with you, let's do it.
Cool. Do you have...
Get to the shrine.
Any New Year's resolutions?
And the stream screams to a halt.
Oh no, Beej has to think. He's clearly not put any thought into this. We've been very busy over the last few days.
It's true.
Beej, let me remember right. You finished working on the 24th on your day job.
Yeah.
Then we went and we hung out with people. We did Christmas. We did the Boxing Day thing. We did filming and filming and filming and filming and filming and filming and hanging out with people to the point where we hadn't done dishes in like a week because we literally just hadn't have time because we were busy hanging out and filming.
Yeah. You come home and it's like, what now?
There's a surprise for you. The end of the year is here.
Yeah.
do you have anything about next year that you've been thinking about resolution-wise?
I would like to be way better to remember to roll my back out every night.
I can help you with that.
You might want to tell them why that is.
Oh, you have a back injury thing of some sort, and you roll your back out. You did a thing where you rolled in the street once a long time ago. That's all I really know.
Yeah.
That's not very coherent.
Do you want to do you think we should go do the thing with the shrine, or do you think we should wander around?
Around.
Well, if we wander around, my worry is that we're gonna have to fight all those kids because they're gonna see us and we're not supposed to be here. But I also think it'll be really interesting. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just save it.
Wander around. Shit goes bad.
Yeah.
We just don't do it.
But yeah, I'd like to remember to roll up my back. It's using one of those 3 foot long, like 3 feet long, solid foam rollers like you'll see people use in Pilates. It is they're really you lay on it on your back, like you put it lengthwise so that it goes across your shoulders essentially, and then you lay on it on your back and you lift your butt up off the ground and put your hands behind your neck, and you just basically roll back and forth, so the thing rolls back and forth, like your back just goes back and forth across it like that.
Yes.
You're down to about your floating ribs. You don't go lower than your floating ribs, because once you hit your floating ribs, it hurts like a bastard.
Yep. I tried it once.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It is a thing. It seems like you could get some good exercise off of it.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And when it is like as you're lying there, it doesn't hurt initially. Usually, whether your back is in good shape or bad shape, it won't hurt initially. If your back is in bad shape, the more you roll on it, it'll start to feel like there's little tiny you'll feel the muscle hit the roller, and it'll be kind of like somebody stuffed like a sausage in your back, and you're just all of a sudden going thump, like there's this weird speed bump in your back for some reason. It doesn't make sense as to why, but it's there. All right, let's go in and see what happens.
Okay, but you want to do this more often.
Yeah, I want to do that more often, because if I can do that for 5 minutes every night, what will happen is that it's called myofascial release, and this is a normal thing, I guess, that it's not like a weird like oogie boogie woo thing. It's like this is something that people who work out will do to themselves. It's basically using your own body weight to perform massage. And so if I roll over that enough times, it will, and I've felt this happen, I've done this a lot, what will happen is that the muscle gets bumped enough that it's like, I'm unhappy, and because it's a weird little knot, it's like, and it'll basically just spasm a bit, and it'll just release. And it feels so good when it releases, because I'm thinking I could go for massages, but the thing is I got to make appointments for massages, and I got to go, for all that, and see people, and then,
And you have to find out if they're covered.
Yeah, all those things, and I got to pay money to do it, and it's like I can just come home and I can roll on my back and do that, and I can take care of this problem myself. Can't make out what they're saying, but one of the voices sound desperate for the stone. Sound of a man pleading for his life. Whatever's going on there, we don't get involved. Why the hell not? Because we stop whatever happening in there, there's going to be bloodshed. The cultists have never been brainwashed by hero, whatever they are doing of their own accord. Okay. After we purify the shroud, then we can interview, but if we go in there now, they're going to attack us. We're going to have to kill them. That's not what we came here to do.
I feel like we should listen to Glory.
Yeah, all right, Glory, you win.
Are there any other things you'd like to do?
I'd like to actually, once I get that sorted, I feel like I'm going to also be able to work out more. And I'd like to start the Wii U thing again. So
kind of just like a progress thing is what you're going for the 2015. Start with the one thing, progress on.
Yeah,
I'd like to get through.
I'd like to do that, do the rolling out of my back, and then once it becomes a regular thing, it's like, okay, let's get... It's kind of like how I... Because I was drinking, years ago, I was drinking a lot of soda.
Yeah.
And I was eating a lot of fried foods and stuff. And then when I found out that I have genetically high cholesterol and I was going to basically have a heart attack by the time I was this age, I was killing myself and had no idea about it. And so I started slow. And one of the first things I did was I'm going to give up fried foods. I gave up French fries completely. And now I eat French fries on the rare occasion, but I don't eat them as every part of a meal.
It's better not to do it all at once, because then you just end up craving everything. Right?
Exactly. And so then once I'd cut out French fries and chicken fingers and stuff, then the next thing was, let's just give up pop and start drinking diet pop. But then eventually got to a point where I'm just not going to drink any pop if I can help it. And now it's oh, hey, like I had Coke today, and I'm like, oh, it's nice to have a Coke once in a while.
Yeah.
It's nice to have ginger ale once in a while, but I hate going to the store and buying 30 grams of sugar per can kind of ginger ale now. It's like,
well, I mean,
I want to give up on that.
It helps to not drink it if it's not actually in the house.
Yeah, and that's what we do.
Right?
We don't put it in the house.
I think I only drink pop if we're here, sometimes if it's available, or when we go out and we get fast food, because we don't do that a ton anymore either.
Okay. Ooh.
But it's watered down stuff at that point.
It's true. So there are acolytes in this room, she says.
Okay.
And how do you know? And she says, process of elimination. If she gets allowed in that room, it's one of Harrow's rules. On rare occasion, she's invited in, he usually doesn't come back out again. What happens in there? Sort of a lounge. Harrow's in a circle. The acolytes, the bait girls, and Harrow's wives. Marta and I spend a lot of time in there. Walk away.
So, is that it for your New Year's?
That's kind of just what I want to start with, I think.
With?
Yeah. Ooh, there's a van in here.
Cool. I'm... Pauses.
Traces the side of it with a claw. Bait girls, Marta, and others like her would offer them money or food or drugs or sex, whatever it took to get them in the van. Once they piled in, Harrow and I would be waiting to greet them. Remember so many nights of that. I remember how much I used to enjoy it. Coming back here shows integrity, Glory. Most owners I know wouldn't even have done what you're doing tonight.
Yeah.
My advice is probably wouldn't have. You pushed me to do this to find sinless redemption. I owe you for that. You know what? You're right, you do. How about just, you don't owe me anything?
Sure.
Tell yourself whatever you like. We both know the truth. Come on, let's keep moving.
Cool.
This is really interesting.
So, most of my New Year resolutions are also routine.
Okay.
Things like, I'd like to maybe floss more, or that kind of thing. Stuff that would be good for me. But, Initiate's dormitory.
Whoa, things are happening. This is the Initiate's dormitory, and the arrivals are brought here. There's still hope for these kids. Beej, Harrow hasn't had a chance to ruin them yet. Good to know. We'll try to get them out of hit. Wait, let's move in any other room. Saw voices from inside the room come drifting out of a nearby vent. There's probably nothing. No need to worry yourself. So far out the beaten track, we don't get a lot of visitors. See Glory's back stiff and she finishes though she's been stung. That's probably Marta. But what if it is someone? What if the bad people have found us? What if they followed me here and they've come to... I'll send them away. You're perfectly safe here. You have to believe that. Don't worry, dear heart. Harrow won't let anyone hurt you. Not here. Not in this place. Not ever again. You certain, Marta? Positive, be calm, all of you. As long as you're here with us, nothing bad will happen to you.
I feel like 2.
Is that your Marta, Glory? Not mine, Harrow's, but she's the Marta from the start. Yes, what do you want to do? But no, she's still here. She's be Harrow number 1 in my old position. He had his way with all of us, but he was always sweet on Marta. Pretty wants to kill her. She's the reason why a lot of kids wound up here, including me. But there's no time. This isn't what we're here for. We can deal with Marta later after we've accomplished what we came here to do, or I don't know if what you're saying, she's just as guilty as Harrow.
For 2.
Yeah, let's just do it later. She nods. Hush now, boys. Get some rest. You got a big day tomorrow, biggest day of your lives. Get to meet Harrow. I promise you have to speak to the soul world in a different way, a better way. All right, Marta. Have a good night. You too, dear heart, all of you. And the door slides shut. Let's go. We need to deal with that shrine.
Yeah. But, last year, during the New Year's party, we went around and we said what our New Year's resolutions were. And James had, this one about doing a daily, weekly, yearly, monthly challenge. And, I don't know how well that really worked out, but I really like the idea of that, having something that you would do every day and weekly and monthly. And so for the last couple weeks, I thought about what would I do with a challenge like that. And so I'm gonna do something like that. What I think I've decided, and I am working on a blog post for this, but it's a small section because I'm doing what I did over 2014 as my New Year's thing. As the primary for that. Refrigerator door.
A whiff of ammonia. That's
large
interesting.
Large plastic bins, tightly sealed, labeled.
They appear to be full of meat. Inspect the containers. Pop the lid, take a closer look. The meat here is beyond rancid.
You're gagging. Familiar shape. It's mangled human hand. Ew.
That's what I think it is. Ritual supplies. Preserved person aged.
Ew.
Harvest the meat, store it, label it. Nobody likes doing it at first, but you learn. It doesn't even bother you anymore by the end. I get the picture. I warned you to see things you don't want to in here. You weren't lying.
Yeah, no kidding. So for my daily challenge, I've decided I'm going to do 10,000 steps.
Oh, nice.
As like kind of an exercise thing.
Mm-hmm.
And because I feel like that's a doable thing too, right? Because I didn't want to pick something really hard for daily.
Mm-hmm.
And for my weekly, what I'm aiming for is large tomb.
For your daily, you're aiming for?
For my weekly, I'm aiming for doing a new recipe.
Mm-hmm.
So something new, because I have a few cookbooks, I have a lot of blogs, and I've never really done that, because I'm like, yeah, I'll do that, and maybe I'll do a blog post about, hey, I did this, and it turned out pretty good, so here's where I found it, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And for my monthly, I've decided that I'm going to make a new plushie once a month.
Ooh.
And not just a plushie that has been on my list of plushies I wish to make for the last, 6 years.
Yay.
So hopefully I will maybe make my list shorter.
That would be lovely.
And then maybe I'll learn some stuff. And I'm going to do blog posts about that too, as kind of a way to keep myself responsible.
Okay.
Because then there will be people who will be like, hey, did you do that thing yet? And, I mean, maybe it won't work out, maybe it will.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll stumble a little. I do, but I feel like it'll be good.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Since I've put, lots of thought and planning into this, and I think it will work.
The important thing is that whenever you do any of these things, it's all about doing it, and then if you miss it, it's like, okay, I didn't do it today.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I'm going to sleep. I'm going to do my best to do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the problem, is that I always miss out on rolling out my back, and I've since I've lost that whole thing where it's like, I don't give a crap. I didn't do it today, it doesn't matter, because I'm going to do it tomorrow now that I remember.
There's a harder thing with that too, right? Like with you rolling out your back,
Mm-hmm.
you can't go back in time and do that. If I decide, oh, I've missed doing 2 dishes, well, maybe I can catch up. Maybe if I just do 2 of them in a day, I could catch up.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but you make that that list kind of get longer, and then it gets more intimidating.
And then you just
sometimes it's better to be like, you know what, I did miss those. That's fine. I'm just going to move on.
Yep.
And maybe I'll come back to that later. And maybe I'll catch up to it one day.
Mm-hmm.
But I should focus on what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I'm hoping to do with a daily, weekly, monthly thing.
Yeah.
I think it'll be good.
Hero's Manifesto. That's what's in the book. Handcrafted line of bullshit that he feeds to his initiate. We all ate up with a smile, and he came away convinced he was a genius. Looks like his span over the last few years is at least twice as thick as it was when I lived here. There's something in there we can use. Wouldn't hang around long enough to find out. His personal library. He's experiment in here. We had dangerous things in here, Beej. Sick things. Never allowed in this room without a hero. Nobody was. He said it was for our safety, and they think he was telling the truth. I feel uneasy being in here. I don't want to stay any longer than we have to.
Whoa, you have so many options.
Yeah. Been an age since Keenan that doesn't teach like we should learn what we can. I think that's a good idea.
Agreed.
Alright, watch your back, try to be quick. Leave through the beginning of the manifesto. Start to read. When I first set out on the path to free living, I realized that I'd have to rethink all my earlier assumptions about life. I'd have to question my own values and beliefs, and I'd need the strength to trust in the answers that came to me. The prospect was daunting, but it was also necessary. The road to true freedom is paved with unanswered questions. After all, you can't learn to be free from a book. The answers won't come from a Bible, an instruction manual, or code of conduct. If you don't learn that, you'll never break your chains. The path to true freedom is one that each of us must walk on his or her own. What makes life worth living? What isn't life is truly valuable, and what is the dross that can be burned away? I spent weeks dissecting every aspect of my life to find the answers to these questions. Slowly agonizing, I pared down the list until only 4 items remained. These 4 items became the cornerstones of my new philosophy and the basis of everything it first still stands for. Love. The first cornerstone, the most important. Without love, life is bland and meaningless. Without love, we might as well be machines. Love what you do. Love the people around you. Above all, love yourself. Self-determination, the second cornerstone. Each of us must be his or her own shepherd. No more gods and no more kings. Your life is your own. That's super fucking ironic coming from this guy. Lash out against anyone or anything that tries to treat you like property. An assault on your freedom is an assault on your whole being, and it must be met with an equally ferocious response. Charity, the third cornerstone. A miserly life is an empty life. If each of us is his or her own master, then no one should live as a serf. By helping others along the path to enlightenment, so do we enrich our own lives. Passion, the final cornerstone. Complacency is poison, be wary of it. Ambition is the key to a fulfilling life. Don't settle for what is. If you do, you abandon what could be.
Wrestling behind you, turning trouble look on her face.
Ominous feeling getting stronger, like we're being watched.
Leave. The journal's so boring. Leave. Journal.
Alright, we're going to continue reading. Rules of living. Be free. Be free in all things and experience that freedom with your whole being, body, mind, and spirit. Discard the oppressive traditions of modesty and shame that you've been indoctrinated since birth. The free thinker has no use for them. Your body is a source of pride, of pleasure, and of succor for yourself and for others. Enjoy it and share the joy freely with those who desire it. Be selfish. Don't enslave yourself out of the expense of your own happiness. Take what you want and do so unashamedly. Our desires are an important part of what makes us human. Society trains to hide that part of ourselves from the world. A free living person doesn't cower in the shadows. Own your desires and rejoice in them. Selflessness is ultimately dishonest, and dishonesty has no place in a free society. Show reverence. The free living person sends the only true governance is the law of nature, and in nature there is a hierarchy. The rabbit doesn't question the wolf. The mouse does not wonder why it must run from the cat. They do because they must. The survival depends on it. As is nature, so it is the first tale. Know your place in the food chain and understand the mechanisms by which you can better yourself. Christ, 20 more pages of rules.
Leave!
Oh, I don't have...
No more rules!
The academic. Damn it, that would have been amazing. Oh, what do I say? I think we go with this.
Okay.
That's what Hera wrote them for, and he mined an entire library worth of 60s countercultural essays, New Age self-help books, and cult manifestos to do it. There's a single original idea in this thing. Oh man, it's the people who know it was stolen. Each of feeling's getting closer.
No more reading. No more reading.
Something in the room with us. I'm sure we can get out of here now.
Leave the journal alone. Thank God.
Alright.
Oh.
I want to look at this terminal. Decking 9. Or decking 5, sorry. Financial transactions, list of payouts, local law enforcement paid by Harrow. Anything interesting? Ah, yeah, payday.
Got some bribe things. Yeah, so the website that I'm going to be posting everything on is actually girlswithscissors.com. And if you go to there now, the latest post is somebody asked a few weeks ago what I would recommend for crochet resources for someone who's wanted to learn crochet.
Mm-hmm.
So I did do a post on that recently. If you are a crafter, you already know how to crochet, maybe you would want to check out that and leave a comment about other resources, specifically online ones, because I don't know any good online ones. That would be amazing.
Ah, okay. The doorway shimmers with a faint red light. As you approach the door, you can feel a screaming sensation in the back of your skull. Your limbs begin to tingle and feel heavy. The closer that you get to the doorway, the more of a struggle it is to continue moving forward. It feels as though the strength is being siphoned from your body. Well, you don't have willpower of that.
No willpower.
Crawling sensation gradually recedes. Only your strength returns to your limbs. Shrine room is through there, but the barrier wasn't there before him, so it watered the door after I ran. Cool. How do we get through? Door's like a lock. There must be a key. I know who is it. The only one here that have it. Marta. So we're gonna have to confront her after all.
Get Marta.
Let's go.
Let's go get the key.
I kind of want to go back and keep reading that journal, though. Just because we know what's supposed to happen now, but... Oh, I can't. Oh, I can. We'll just leave it alone for now.
I am aware of Ravelry. I don't know anywhere specific on Ravelry to send someone who's never crocheted before. And I say that because I could recommend Ravelry, but then to say, here's a place with a million things is kind of, I would think, scary to a brand new person. So, while I think Ravelry is a great resource, I'm not so sure where in Ravelry you would send a person who hasn't touched yarn or a hook.
Final pages of the manifesto devolve into semi-cohesive rants about anarchy, social Darwinism, free love, and the horned god. You've seen this kind of thing before. Hero's philosophy is collapsing under its own weight. Unfortunately, no cultists seem to have caught on to that fact. So it's starting to cry. Ooh, interesting. Cutting your sentence short. On the corner of your eye, you see her wheel to face something behind you all at once. The room fills the slaughterhouse smell. It smells like blood and bile and feces, the stench of an abattoir. Got something sliding into the world.
Yeah, that's
like a charred
that was
man.
A sound that was gross.
Yep. Pair of tortured faces where his shoulders should be. The thing burns like a Roman candle, spitting white hot sparks and fiery plume. Oily stems run between his dangling spanners on the floor, and when the drips land, they burn. Beej, look out. Oh, that.
Oh, hey, it's in the room. It is attacking you.
Whoa, shit.
You are in a fight now. You're in a tiny room.
It's a seeker. I don't know what that is. Maybe I'll get some cover. And then Glory's behind cover, light cover, but she's behind cover at least. Do we use her hand razors or do we have her shoot?
Razors.
I feel like the razors are gonna not do a lot of damage.
Yeah. I just really like that she's Wolverine.
Alright, well let's try it. Well, let's try Twin Slash. Or Eviscerate, that's probably a good idea. The thing attacked you because of dissolve. This tissue breakdown, glowing slick of bubbling pitch and rendered fat. What the hell was that? Something from another place. Boundaries between the physical world and the astral space are weak here. Things can come through. The headless abomination just pissed lighter fluid on the floor and then tried to burn us to death. I think that things can come through is underselling it a bit.
Yeah.
Semantics. Now can we please get out of here before it happens again? Yeah, good plan.
Can we leave before more show up? Yes.
Rad. Alright. So, Marta. Open the door. There should be a bunch of kids sleeping in here.
Wasn't Martha in a different room?
She was in here before.
Oh. Well,
Yeah.
I guess we can just walk through the room and no one will care. Oh,
Yeah.
nope. Whips his head up to look at you. He takes a stutter step backward in alarm, then opens his mouth to cry for help. You don't want to do that.
Yes!
Gloria looks deep into the initiate's eyes, transfixing him. We're not here to hurt you. You're celebrating over the fact that we finally picked an etiquette that works!
If we want to kill you, already be dead. You live in the street, you know how this works.
Let's pick number one.
Yeah, you're right. You don't want to hurt anyone. Why are you here? My word, Marta, private word between old friends, understand? Yeah, that's cool, I guess. Oh, neat.
And now we can talk to them.
Tell me your life story.
Not the whole life story, though.
Eyes wide. Mousy little thing, probably something. You're 17 years old, purple contact lenses, shock of blue hair, glance of glory blinking. You used to live here, didn't you? I've seen your picture before. Really? So I didn't look at it long. It was a room that wasn't supposed to be in, but I'm pretty sure it was you. Probably was. You're right. I did live here a long time ago. It was like you back then. Scared kid brought here by Marta had a chance of new life. Like Marta, she's so nice. I just feel safe when I'm with her. Most adults aren't like that. They don't notice you. They do the wrong reasons. But Marta, she cares about us. Can I ask you a question? Go ahead, ask away. I remember Marta talking to Mr. Harry yesterday. I think they were talking about our meeting, and one of them was just telling about when we'll learn to see the world in a different way. Go on. Couldn't really hear the conversation, all muffled, but I could hear it was kind of weird. Mr. Harris said stuff about a shrine. He sounded like he was changed the subject because he started talking about dinner, something about chopping up meat. I got real upset saying they're too new, they're not ready to make the older ones do it, stuff like that. Mr. Harris said some other things, and then she calmed down again. When she left, she was smiling. So I was just wondering, do you know what they were talking about? I wanted to make sure Marta's okay, but I can't ask her about it because I don't want to find out I was eavesdropping. I think I know Harrow's plan for you. Have you ever opened the fridge in the other room? No, why? Is that where we're going to make dinner? Don't worry about it. We'll make sure that Marta's okay. Don't tell her I told you, please. Don't worry, we won't. How long have you been here, by the way? About a week. It's wonderful. Of course it is. So much nicer than living in the street, isn't it? You'll be good, sweetie. Don't worry. We'll take care of Marta. It's like I thought. Things have changed in the past few years. How so? Back when I lived here, Harrow would never let such a fresh convert prepare a sacrifice. He'd wait until she was in so deep, until she felt so indebted to him that she couldn't turn tail and run. There's a rule. You let newcomers get settled for a month, maybe two, then teaching them the more unsavory aspects of cult life. Yeah, you start off slow. With her first lessons would be using pork or chicken, never human meat. That didn't come out much later. Talking to a recruiter after a week is risky as hell, and he would never have done it when I lived here.
Yee.
Shrine is using to brainwash the initiates faster than he used to, or just maybe he's getting cocky. I think this one.
Probably second one.
That's what I'm thinking. Harrow's getting lazy, letting his Captain Spirit do the heavy lifting
He's
for
either
him.
getting lazy or for some reason he feels like he needs to speed up.
Like he needs to hurry, yeah.
Yeah, because something else is happening.
Yeah. That's what this is mean for us. Still working on that, but I don't think the shrine is just a tool for Harrow anymore. I think that he relies on it. He's using it as a crutch. I think he's let himself become dependent on the damn thing. Ooh, well that would kind of make sense, actually.
Mm-hmm.
As far as if there's anything keeping these kids here, that'll make our job a lot easier. On that, we are agreed. Alright. In we go.
Go get Marta. Okay, so this is essentially, are you ready to do this now, or do you want to wander around?
We've looked at everything.
So we could probably just do this now.
We could go into some of those other rooms, but I think we would fuck everything up.
Okay, how about save? And then we go in.
I just saved recently.
Okay, well then just go in.
So let's just go in and see what happens. Oh, hello, friend.
Not sure if it's
We're
friend.
here for a conversation. In the room, it's lovely. Full lips contrast artfully with her fine elvish features, and a tumble of fire-red hair spills down over her shoulders. But on her physical beauty, there's something inherently approachable about her. She exudes an almost palpable air of kindness and warmth. Marta, Glory's old lover, the lure that Hero used to draw her and so many others to Furestal. She looks up at the startled sound of your approach. Her eyes go out inside of Glory as she takes in her cyberware. Her mouth fills open in horror. Glory? Yes, Marta, it's me. It's been a long time. It has. Glory, what have you done to yourself? What I had to do had got out, Marta. This was the only way. Oh, Glory. I am so sorry. Marta steps forward, her arm extended to wrap Glory in a hug. All at once, something in Glory's face changes. Her skin from pale to pallid, and her breath becomes ragged. She takes a step back and reclaws into defensive posture. Don't you touch me. You're one of Hera's creatures. You always were. What are those creatures, Glory? What are you talking about?
I don't know, I like the say nothing option.
Me too. You know as well as I do. You worship that monster. You seduced me into coming here, so I would worship him. You hadn't found me. You hadn't baited me, and this would have happened. Done what? I haven't done anything. Just the way you found me, I never would have hurt anyway. My mother would still be alive. I never would have sold my soul to that abomination you all worship, and I wouldn't have had to sacrifice my own body to escape from it. The place took everything from you, and it all started with you. Hera and I rescued you from your life in a street. A beautiful girl, homeless, penniless, living in gutter. I pulled you away from all that. I saved you. I don't feel much anymore, Marta. Most of the time I'm completely numb. But for you, I can make assumption. I hate you. So you feel that way, Glory. For my part, I still love you. I've lied, the last you'll ever tell. I think what she's trying to do is turn her or convince her of, because I mean obviously we know this is some pretty crazy culty bullshit. I think she probably believes that it's like, no, I did all these wonderful things for you, and you left. Why would you leave? We loved you. That's a culty thing, right?
Yeah,
so
I feel like if you're going that way, you're going with number one, though.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think the second one...
The second one's okay, but it's more of if you think she's...
there's something going on with her,
something else going on, whereas number one kind of fits more of what you were thinking.
Yeah. Let's try number one. Prove it to you. Ask me anything you want. I'll show you that I'm telling you the truth. I never want anything to happen to you, Glory. Not ever. You're listening to her. She's just telling you what you want to hear. That's her purpose. Remember, she's bait. Why would you listen to anything she has to say? Number 3.
Okay.
And I don't know your fucking word of it. All is a payback, and I'm gonna get it. What is you within? Show your husband taught me since you disappeared. Alright, it's a fight. Which one are we gonna get? Slash and kick. That's good. This music is weird for what's happening. Swipe, twin slash.
I don't know about that.
It's just
kind of sad.
It is sad, right? Like it's... Let's do that.
I mean, granted, it's not really fighting music, but...
Oh, and we knocked her out. I'm going to take a position over here.
But it's not... I don't think it's completely wrong.
It's true.
I think it's just weird in the sense that we've heard more upbeat music for most of the...
I'll let Glory do it. And what'd she drop? You okay? No, I'm not.
One? I don't like any of them.
No, they're all awful. I think 4 would be maybe a bit better.
Really? 4 sounds super harsh to me.
Well, it's not, right? It's basically saying, look, remember why you came here and why you needed to do this. right?
Really,
Like,
to me, it sounds like, well, she deserved to die. Remember what she did to you?
yeah, it's true. Well, that's not how I'm reading it, right? Like, I mean,
That's what
3 is obviously really fucking awful.
3 is super awful.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but it had to be done. It's like I don't get to dictate that.
I feel I don't know.
It's either 1 or 4.
Your game.
I think 4. No, I haven't forgotten anything. Glory. All right. We got what we came here for. Let's go finish this.
Pick it up. An
Martyrs
amulet. He'll write magic things.
Oh, there's this dude now wants to talk. Honest, you killed Marta.
See?
Couldn't be helped. I was going to get you, you'll see.
Now you got people who are angry at you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Given your lifestyle choices, you have probably a lot of people who are angry at you.
Yeah, it's true. Hell, I have clients who are mad at me.
Did you want to take a break?
We might as well do that.
Before we go in the door?
Yeah, we'll save right now. Take another save. Okay, so we're going to have a quick break. Try to get us to the commercial setting.
Oh,
and
right. The mouse.
The mouse is going to be weird. So we're just going to...
Come on, mouse. You can do it.
So we're going to commercial. Heather's going to go
shoot.
start the commercial. I know.
I don't know if the mouse can do all
it's
this.
It's okay. We'll figure it out. If we can get in there.
Do I need to be on the...
yeah, you need to
red.
actually be on the red.
There. I clicked it. Is that all I needed to do?
Until it actually clears the last commercial part, then we're good. So we'll be here a few more seconds if the commercials...
There.
Oh,
yes,
it
I
all
can.
works.
Hey, the mouse sort of works sometimes.
All right, let's not tempt it. All right, let's have our way downstairs.
Open the door. Let's go down this rabbit hole.
Yeah. All right, we open the door to the shrine. So after complete, we can go home.
All right, then let's just go home.
Clears almost instantly. The swing opens, door to touch. Seems to have done it. Reynolds reaches a satchel, hand comes out, clutching a small jar. The smear of this on your forehead is a sort of alchemical balm. Hero taught me how to make it. If you ever wonder where my share of the take our jobs come from, this is the answer. Pale white ointment. Powdered orichalcum isn't cheap. Orichalcum? What's that? Alchemical alloys, inherently magical, hellishly difficult to make, incredibly expensive. It's also the key to the ingredient of magical foci. And it's what makes the balm react the way it does to astral energy. Boundaries between the material world and the astral plane are weak here. Stuff sort of acts as a lens. Foci perception makes the haze real. So we can deal with the spirit on its own level. I'm glad that you came prepared. Didn't have much of a choice. There's no way I could pull something alchemical assistance I wouldn't even want to try. Pair of silver necklaces, a rune and inscribed pendants from each. This will protect your astral self from spiritual possession. Don't take it off while we're dealing with the shrine, whatever you do. Got it. Don't know what's going to happen when we step in that room, Beej. We're going to play with forces outside of our control. You sure you want to do this? Ready as I'll ever be. Let's go then. Let's purify the spirit. We can see about rescuing those kids. Harold will get away, but we can worry about that later. That's a plan. Let's do it. For reasons to suspect Harrow's in the real power here anyway. I think the spirit is. Explain. Harrow started using the shiny hand. The spirit trapped into the keys of the kingdom. Bastard might think he's in charge here, but he isn't anymore. He's a servant just like everyone else. Only for instance, he doesn't know it. What are you basing this on? We saw the shit in the fridge. What we heard Marta say about the sacrifice is lots of things, but they add up. We're only bothering you with this because it's solid evidence we are doing the right thing. Even if Harrow does escape, it won't be much of a threat as he thought he was. I just wanted you to know that. Thanks. So let's do this. Away we go.
Into the door. Ooh,
neat.
Many candles.
Drawings of the horned god.
Banners and the horned god has... The horned god suspiciously looks like a six-legged spider.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Maybe he's a scutella.
Well, as you approach the shrine, the chorus of high sibilant voices fills the air. It sounds light and airy, but something about it fills you with a bone deep dread. Welcome home, Glory. Glory, what? Something slams in your wave of intangible force, turns your consciousness inside, and sends shockwaves through everything. Word lurches, and everything goes black. Huh.
Well, all the bad things are about to happen.
Where are we now? Where am I now?
In the dark.
So you can stir murky, flickering impressions of the stillness of your Oily stillness of your conscious mind says she comes wave washing up over you and jerking you back towards consciousness. Smell acrid smoke and burning meat. The roar of the distant flames whispers in your ear. Eyes flare open. Dull glare fills your vision. Attempt to stroll to your feet. You become dimly aware that gravity here feels wrong. Everything is heavier than it should be. Slowly the waves grow still and your senses calm. You find yourself staring into an infinite horizon. The blast rings of force shells stretch out in all directions as far as the eye can see.
I feel like 3.
The hell are we?
I feel like that's better than being like, are we in the... Like, that seems like you believe it. I don't think you believe it.
Yeah. So the thing I say is the adversary holds sway here. Would that make this hell? No, I don't think it's as simple as that. Spirit we're hunting is going to be here, right? Should be here somewhere.
Sure. Why not?
Interesting.
Huh. I like the color scheme, although it looks like it could use some remodeling. Perhaps less fire.
Everything's on fire.
I mean, normally I really like fire, but this seems like a little much.
So we go over here. Ah.
Hey, look, the things that want to hurt you.
And I can't move anything because they're showing stuff off. Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh, weird.
They're coming to get you.
Alright. I need to get to cover, I think.
Beej and Heather, do you drink mixed drinks? And have you ever had a Pousse Cafe? Is that how it's pronounced?
Pousse Cafe.
I can't say have.
That's a, if I remember correctly, that is a stacked drink where you stack different layers of different colors that have different...
I've definitely not had one of those, but that sounds fun.
They are, it's basically different alcohols or different mixes that have different densities, so they will lay on top of each other.
Yeah, like in Bartender.
Yeah. I don't drink alcohol.
He lies. He doesn't drink alcohol as a thing, but he will taste everyone's alcohol to know what it tastes like.
Yeah, I'm more interested in understanding the taste of it and how things are... So, yeah, and my friends are usually pretty open about, hey, do you want to try a little of this? I'm like, sure, why not? And then you do, and it's like, well, this tastes really interesting, or, you know, this is definitely beer, or this definitely has alcohol in it. And which is funny because anybody that I talk to, they'll say, oh, well, you'll like this, and you won't even know, and I'll try it. I'll be like, I can taste the alcohol in that. Yeah. And they're like, you wouldn't know there's alcohol in it unless I told you. I'm like, no, I can taste the alcohol in it because I don't drink alcohol and I don't get used to the fact that of that flavor. And so when I taste it, it's like I can tell there's alcohol in that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't drink a ton, so I have the same issue that if it's... Some of them I can't. There's a few I can't, but beer in particular tends to have a flavoring I don't like to it, and people will be like, oh, but it doesn't taste like blood. I'm like, no, it tastes like beer. It has that beer flavor to it that I don't like.
I wonder if I should go over here.
But half the time I don't know what I've had because it's a thing that Kathleen's mixed that I've enjoyed, and I don't ask questions.
I'm going to need Glory's adrenal pump for this, I have a feeling. Yeah, we'll activate it now. She should be able to move anywhere she needs to. She's got 2 left.
I mean, I know you didn't have any of the champagne earlier.
That's right.
You went with Diet Coke?
Yeah, I just fished some Coke Zero out of the fridge. Actually, I fished the Thomas bottle that we had. Because we were acquiring those for our friends that we were going to give them out at Desert Bus to like, here's one that we found for you, one for you found for you. Completely forgot.
They forgot, and
so Thomas...
They also stopped the campaign.
There's your bottle.
Beej drank your Coke, Thomas.
Yeah, Beej drank your Coke.
Whoops.
All right, I have one of these.
I had too much of the champagne.
I wonder if I can hit that dude. It's not a great shot, but maybe I can make it.
I was wondering, because I know Corey brought in... Cokes for her and Ian. I believe they both actually drank champagne, but I know that she brought Coke. So I thought maybe she brought you one as well, but that makes way more sense.
Maybe we can strip armor from this guy?
I mean, also I found a lot of alcohol is very expensive. I mean, we don't even buy pop anymore usually, so it's
That's good.
Buying interesting elixirs of drink that we probably may not like is not high on the list of money spending. Crystal Pepsi is ass.
I haven't had Crystal Pepsi in a long time.
I remember Pepsi Blue. Because my mom wasn't into buying the ooh, this thing came out, right?
Right.
But when she went to the store, they couldn't sell it, so they were giving it away. So we got a 2-liter of Pepsi Blue.
Oh, interesting.
And it was gross, so we poured it down the sink.
Damn it. I feel like I would prefer to have... Like, Gloria's here, which is fine. My issue is that I can't... I guess I'm going to just have to rely on just basically hitting him. Yeah, we'll just leave it there for a minute.
I mean, you might say that, oh, hey, you save money by not having an interest in alcohol. But actually, you just have much more other expensive interests. Mine include books and video games.
Yeah.
Going to get coffee, even though I don't really drink coffee, I drink a tea thing.
It's funny because I don't spend a lot of money on stuff, and yet I do wonder where all my money goes. Because I don't buy video games that often. I mean, the only expense that I'm trying to do the math on this and try to figure out, okay, where is the money going? And it's like all the money that comes into the house, it's like, well, that gets spent on
groceries.
Groceries is like the big thing.
Groceries is one of the biggest things.
Yeah, and then there's because we have like really like we don't pay for the high end internet. We pay for the lowest package we can possibly get.
Trust me, I'm aware.
We actually are paying for a package of internet that
doesn't exist anymore.
They don't even offer it, but it's $5 cheaper than the next level up, and it's kind of like, I don't know if we can afford to pay for the next level up per month, because it's only $5 more per month, but it's like that's another $60 a year, and we got to kind of watch where all this stuff goes. But it's just funny because it's like, you know, well, if we did pay for it, would we still be able to afford it? And I'm like, the only thing that we're really putting a lot of money into, that like the big thing every year, is car insurance. Because here in BC, it's no-fault car insurance, which also makes it really expensive. It's more than twice as expensive as it is to buy insurance here than it is to buy insurance in Alberta, where we're from, which makes it really, really weird for me, because I'm having to pay that much money out. It came in handy, because when I wrote off my car, like, it came in handy. But... okay, how do we do this?
Generally, if you don't have a thing that you're spending money on, you find a different thing to spend money on. Some people just don't even know where it goes.
Yeah.
I know where all of mine goes.
That's really good.
It's... yeah,
maybe
mostly books.
Okay, so I can either take heavy armor, and I can... because this thing is a long range, right? I can go up to here, and I can be guarded from 2 directions. I can go here, but then I will lose that shot. But these guys are going to come down anyway. So do I take, if I go up here and I take the shot, then I'm covered, and I should also have enough, like, I should have enough coverage to be able to hit everybody if I'm over here. I think that might be okay. Let's try that.
I really find what Ian does to be very interesting, because he brews beer.
Yeah.
And that I find really interesting, but I'd never do it, because I'd essentially be making something I probably wouldn't even like to consume.
I can see that.
But the process, the idea that he's doing a thing is really interesting.
Should I go after
he's doing it.
either of these guys? The 57's a better chance. I feel like if I shoot the 48, though, I get a chance of hitting both these guys with my grenade launcher.
Agreed.
So this dude?
Yes.
It's not so bad. Glory's got a lot... her adrenal pump's not functioning, so let's just turn that back on again. And we're going to send her over here. Yeah, that hurts. Oh, good. Yeah, everybody move together. Thank you. Okay, that guy barely hit. That guy we're going to definitely hit. Let's shoot him. Let's do that again. Oh, that's super good. Cool. All right, now apparently we have to go around through there to attack that dude. Or we can do this, and we get a lot of shots. So maybe I just take that guy out.
Yeah.
And then this guy's still in the open. So I can either try to shoot behind heavy cover, or we can shoot the guy in the open. I think it's a good idea to shoot the guy in the open. What does this do? 2 attacks in 1 action increases chance of critical. Let's try it. That sucked.
There's a couple people in chat who are brewing.
Oh, yeah?
beers. Yeah, I lost. Yeah, there we go. Plummeting Solace is one.
Oh, no.
He has a 5-gallon beer fermenter
This is not
bubbling
good.
away right now, which I think is pretty cool. Personally, I think anything that someone works on making is pretty interesting.
I'm going to move over here and shoot him from here. F, 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 F. And I think I'm going to move her up here and attack that guy with her claws. Nice.
Yeah. Go Glory.
Alright, now let's try to do the same thing to the Mauler. That did not work. Oh, that was fine. Okay, let's try attacking with that. And let's try attacking with that. And then let's move her out of here, because then I have a free shot. Or I have 2 free shots. Maybe another one? Another one. That was good. And now it is his turn. Not doing much damage. Oop. I need to reload. That's no good. Alright, Glory. It's all you.
Well, I mean, making debt is an interesting idea, but it's probably not as satisfying as making something else. I've been there with the making debt thing. I still have some to pay, but it's not nearly as satisfying as making a scarf, making some beer, making a sandwich even.
Yeah.
Seems more satisfying than making debt.
Absolutely. 60 out of 60, 75 out of 75. We're doing good.
Yeah, we're doing okay.
Okay.
So I would say that Beej is probably not going to get dyed yet. That was their phrasing, not mine.
Me not died. Okay. We're doing really good, so let's save.
House saving is always a good idea.
Yeah. Oh. I love how it keeps warping you, like, in different directions. That looks like a shrine.
I think that's to kind of point out that you're not really...
Yeah, you're in a weird astral place.
Yeah. Like, the thing looks like a room, but you're not really... There's not really technically a layout.
Aha.
Oh,
that was a good
hey,
move.
It's the Horned God. It's hideous. It's broad-chested. It's got scale-like patches of burning coal, and many sets of antlers shimmer with heat. It smells like a barn fire, wood smoke, burning fur, and blackening bodies. It inclines its head towards Glory and spreads its arms in welcome.
Glory, welcome, child.
Oh, it's in a chorus of clear littling voices, exactly like I made it sound. You don't hear them so much as feel them, sensation strangely hundred butterfly fluttering in your chest. What a pleasure it is to see you again. It's I love that because it's like it always is that voice, right? Except it's not. It's this kind of voice. Takes a deep breath, steels herself, and speaks. Know what you were spirit before the adversary twisted you, before hair bound you into this rock. I can help you to be that again. All you need to do is let me. We are not in need of help. We are a great master's servant, just as Harrow is, just as you are, despite your misguided attempt to cut away his love from your heart. You mangled yourself from return. You did it despite him. He was your greatest benefactor, your patron child, but he loves you all the same. Cut the shit spear. We all know what your master's love does to people. Because that does not sound sarcastic. Like, I know it would sound sarcastic, but it's not. It should be this, I think. Because me telling her, she knows.
She knows. She knows.
So he's concerned. You can hear the crack and pop of splitting vertebrae as the Norman's head shifts on its shoulders, fixes camera's gaze on you. Your friend this outsider Slider's a great master, we take no offense. His words are like the babble of newborn babies. He's ignorant of the truth. The noise continues. We will teach him, and the babble will cease.
We will teach him, and the babble will cease.
Glory shoots you a sidelong glance. He knows the word. Don't.
We know what teaching really means.
I have a message for you from our great master. He's a gift for you, peace offering one he offers freely. So his continued affection for you. He knows that you declare his desires servant's destruction. As a symbol of his love, he will grant you the power to bring an end to Harrow. You know that you wish to free the children of Forstel. As a sign of his compassion, he will help you set them free. You can have everything you want, child, all this and more. Remain silent. I think it's up to Glory.
Yeah.
So this spirit, you can go ahead and mention the price. This will cost you nothing. Simple gesture, a trifle, a show of good faith. You demonstrate your love for him, he will reward you beyond your wildest dreams. And wear the protective ward from your neck, and his gift is yours for taking years for more. Say nothing.
Keep saying nothing.
It's like, look, it's the reeking cadaverous thing that looms over her. I'm going to love its act to get off from the adversary. I paid somebody to do it. That's how badly I wanted to be free of your great master. Your offer is as pathetic as was predictable. To be frank, I'm disappointed in you. Ooh, if you break our great master a second time, I'll chew what's left of you into malts. The marrow from your bones will nourish the garden. I promise you this, child. I promise it. I have a better idea. We're going to purify your spirit, and after we finish, you'll help us rescue those kids. Very well, child, your plan. Pain is what you seek, we will bring it to you. Beneath his leathery skin, the thing's bones begin to shift, straining against the ligaments and tendons that bind them.
I think you're going to get in a scrap.
Hideous cracking sound fills the air as the skeleton splinters and pops. As you watch, the spirit's body begins to rot. That was not a safe place for me to stand. Great lesions open in the creature's cage, and the rib cage cracks in horrible internal pressure. The spirit's chest heated and foul-looking ports from the ribs and flesh. A flash of light stabs your eyes when your vision clearly finds three identical spirits floating before you. Fuck off, really?
Time to pick which
one's
one's real.
Yours would
Door 1, door 2, door 3.
Feels like you're being eaten alive. Yours would be swift and brutal.
I only see one though. Oh, no. Well, hit the one closest to you. Or run away.
Well, if I take glory and we use that adrenal pump, which is probably a fine idea, we could either strip him of armor, hopefully. Aha!
He was fake. Which, I mean, makes sense.
So we got two in the open, and it's me with that thing. Who do I hit?
That one.
Okay. This one here?
That one.
Okay, we're gonna mark target first. Yeah. I was not able to mark target. Well, let's hope we hit him. F. Wow, really accurate. Oh, she blocked it. She blocked a crit.
Whoa, your voice went very loud for a second there.
Sorry.
Thank you.
The form is supposed to be in the essential protection of man, disturbed by distance. His silhouette ripples like a flag in the wind. His voice is beautiful and handsome. His expression is sad. Harrow. Glory. You shouldn't have come here. As continually live out your life in peace. Could put in his place, arrow this place, in your pathetic, sickening call. Don't kill your blade. It won't unless you force my hand. I'm time from the protection. Ask me for my protection. I'll share this place. You wish for still in peace. If you ask me politely, mean let your friend leave with you. Many victims here. Harrow, not again. I'm going to burn this place to the ground. My only regret is you aren't here to burn in person to burn with it. Fight then. Very well. You wrote this upon yourself. I didn't need to be effing doing this right now. F.
Fight the devil.
Alright. And he is 50 out of 50. F.
Ugh.
Well, I got another one waiting. Let's try this guy. That must be the real deal? Maybe? Who knows?
Maybe? I mean, I still say you need to shoot the other one to make it go away, because,
yeah, probably.
it's still gonna shoot at you.
Ah, that did not work. Well, that worked. That worked too. Oh, piss.
Oh, hey.
They just move. That is their thing.
There's more of them. There's 3 again.
Is there?
Yeah, there's one over here.
Oh, so if you don't actually... You get a couple shots and that's it.
Yep. This game is the best.
Well, do I take this guy out so that he can't attack?
Maybe you do need to take him out.
Do I send Glory off to do that? Do I shoot this guy, like, from point-blank range? Do I shoot Harrow from here? Do I find some friggin' cover?
Cover might be good.
Yeah, but if I look for cover, I'm gonna be...
Yeah, shooting things. Shoot things.
Oh, man.
Shoot the thing next to you.
I mean, heavy cover would be probably a really good idea.
They're all gonna move anyway. Though I do think taking out Harrow would be a good idea.
I don't know if I can hit him from here. Let's try it. That was lovely.
I think he's gone.
I could do that all day. This is a long-range weapon, and yet, yeah, I got 2 choices. That did not do what it needed to do. Let's send Glory over here to fight this guy then. Twin slash? Sure. Oh, she hit me too.
That's Rayla Oda. I'm glad we could be here for you. I'm glad you can enjoy the stream in lieu of your circumstances.
I think we might have found the dude. Okay, so we're blocking something, it seems. I need to refuel. That's good.
Not die.
So do I shoot these other dudes, or do we concentrate on the guy that we think we're actually doing damage against?
The guy you think you're actually doing damage against.
Okay. Only does 6 damage. I need to keep this shit in mind. Fray armor. Okay, and then that. That's good too. I guess it's still this dude. Oh man.
Well,
maybe they just straight suck.
Hey,
Alright.
I'm thankful for it.
And maybe another shot. Oh, I missed. Alright, well whatever. Not twin slash, because she's gonna hit me if I do that.
Okay.
This is going to be difficult. Oh, he came back.
Well, that jerk.
What a prick. That's not fair.
Yeah, because the rest of this is totally fair.
Yeah. So maybe I concentrate on Harrow, because I'm not doing much against anybody else.
No, I think you should concentrate on the,
This guy?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm pretty low on health. That's good stuff.
Is there any way to rotate this camera at all?
I don't think there is.
Yeah.
See, the frustrating thing is, okay, so we know these guys have 30. And 30?
39.
And this one is 54. Deflect incoming damage minus 15. Oh, I see what's happening here.
Keep hitting him.
What's the armor thing do? 2-hit combo or slash kick. Let's try that. That's pretty good. Just a standard swipe. I blocked it. F. Ugh. Oh, see, he's casting shit to make this last longer. Maybe I should shoot him.
It's just, I don't know if he'll go away permanently unless you get rid of...
He's healing, though. He's at 67 now. Like, I feel like and these guys are at 52, so they're taking a piece of this. If I do this... Okay. And then Glory can do this. Can do it again, maybe? Yeah, see, not...
Okay, well, sure. I just... Alright.
Yeah, I'm nearly dead.
Shoot Hero in the dick.
That was pretty good. I enjoyed that. Yeah, he's coming back up again. I wonder maybe I should send Glory off over here. Let's do that. Okay, he disappeared. At least I'm getting missed a bunch. That's super good. Oh, that's good.
What?
I could do that all day. Okay, Glory. Your adrenal pump. And we're gonna need you to... Let's try Eviscerate. Oh, I broke his armor. Awesome. Did Harrow come back?
I don't see him.
Oh man, I can't believe we're getting this. So lucky with this.
Oh wait, no, he's over here now.
Is he?
Yeah, that's him, glowing in the red.
Oh,
He came back.
piss. Do I shoot him?
Yes.
Now, do we use glory to... Oh, 8.
Do it?
Yeah, got there. So lilting voices, whirls, and shrieks by transmogrifies into something else. Through the haze, you can see her eyes go right at once. Rippling silhouette, fingers of feedback, and shadows where the decaying body comes insubstantial. Run, you fucking coward. Run back to the real world. And whatever hole you crawl out of, we'll catch you. I think so. You don't even know where the real me is, Glory. Don't worry, we'll find you. We're good at that sort of thing. Whatever you like, fool. It won't do you any good. Years from now, I'll still be doing what I do, and you'll have accomplished nothing. Go away, Harrow. Start to set another cut. You won't get far before I hunt you down. You're better than that. Nothing makes me happier than the sound of you lying to yourself. Goodbye, Glory. Son of a bitch. Slowly she turns away. Spirit's writhing form continues its transformation into a skull's buckle brick reformed turbo and begins to heal a brown fire stench, but slowly dies away, replaced by an error. With more pleasant smells, oak and pine and mineral oil, rustic leaves, feasts, and mulled wine. As it cools, the spirit raises his head, the body shakes a newborn fold. What has happened to us? What have we done? You did what the adversary wanted you to do. Use your imagination? Or should I just...
I say nothing.
Say nothing. You've done terrible things, Spirit. Loathsome and frivolous things. You've corrupted children, turned them into killers. You've been a party of violence, torture, and the desecration of corpses. You've created monsters. You're just shaking his creator from side to side. Doesn't speak, but a low rumbling sound made something deep in his chest. Doesn't think about it, isn't it? But you have to, Spirit. You can't run from what you've done. Your actions are a part of you, whether you like it or not. The sound turns into tormented howl. The noise conjures images of mourning mothers and caged animals, screaming orphans and dying men. A sound of pure unmitigated despair. Listen to me, Spirit. I need your help. We're here to rescue the cultists of Fierstell, the street kids who mind you touch. We're getting them out of here before the adversary can do to them what it did to you. Yes, we will help you.
I kind of like number 3.
Be damned, something's not right for a change. We've withdrawn ourselves from the minds of the people here. They are themselves again. Thank you. We will take or leave you now. Wait, we wish to do more. We have much to atone for, as you said. Just what do you hope to do? Make amends, heal the sick and the wounded, bring them succor in the hearth of home. We can do nothing without your help. You're still bound to the shrine anchor here. We cannot leave without your assistance. Tell us what you need us to do. Appropriate vessels to carry out the rocks and touched by magic, but more dead than alive. Do you have anything that can help us?
I personally want Glory to make the decisions here.
Yeah.
So I kind of like the say nothing option, even though it's...
Snatch the pin falls apart, lowers his eyeless head and enters lever just in the air. Warm glow envelops and similar glow spills from Glory. Bright flash and the spirit is gone. Glory, are you okay? I can feel the spirit, it's bound to me now. So what does that mean for us? Can spirit help us like it said?
Number 3. I've always wanted a bound spirit.
Yeah, see for yourself. She raises an arm, using birth and warm comfort in your chest, and wants to help people to heal them, and wants redemption just like I do. Together maybe we'll find it. Behind your eyes, your vision starts to twist. It feels like though you're being turned inside out. Time to go. With the spirits linked to the adversary severed, the entire reality is falling apart. See you in the real world, Glory? Yeah, I'll see you there.
Shaky.
Glory, are you a wizard? No, she's... Technically, I think she's a shaman now.
Neat.
Send back to consciousness, struggling to defeat. You found Glory and standing in alert. And there are things on fire.
Some things got put in the fires.
Spirit set them free, but they're trapped somewhere here in the complex. The initiates, you mean? And others. We need to find them and get out of here. The connection between this compound and wherever we were is breaking down. This place disintegrates. More and more things are spilling through. Like rats fleeing a sinking ship. Yeah, and it's only time the first is consumed too. Look in the corner. You can already see it happening. I'll take your word for it. Let's move. Save the freed cult members.
Okay. Seems like a good idea.
Let's get the fuck out of Deutsch. Alright, we can't go that way. What do we fight to get our way through here, I wonder? We're probably going to need that van. Oh, there's something. Clear rubble.
Yay, picked up some garbage.
Some stuff went right. Alright. Hi. Let's make friends. As you kick open the door and stumble forward into the room, you find yourself surrounded by a sea of teenage faces. Initiates and acolytes huddled together and trembling. With the spirit's influence clear through their eyes, the swagger is gone. They look frightened and lost, like kids who've recently had their security blanket torn away. Glory, is that you? The acolyte is in his early 20s, close to Glory's age. His eyes are wide with astonishment. You don't know me, but as an initiate back when you lived here, when you were... Yes, it's me. Come on, we're taking you to safety someplace far away from here. What happened to you? Your arms? Something you'll never need to worry about. Come on, let's get the hell out of here. Could have put it better myself.
Don't even worry about it. Everything's fine.
Okay. Is that everybody?
Sure.
Oh, look at that.
It must be.
Fade your way through the trees of the shown book forest, tracing your way back to the thicket where you and Glory hid the van. The infernal that consumed first still spreading, and the conflagration casts a forward and sinister orange light. The heat at your back is intense, unbearable. Far ahead, Glory blazes a trail for you to follow, shredding the foliage in her path. The liberated initiates teeter on the edge of panic as they struggle to keep pace behind you. The fire is moving fast, but you're faster. As Glory helps the last of the kids into the van, you put the vehicle in gear and punch the accelerator. The burning ruin of first shell receives in the distance, a glowing speck in the rearview mirror. A piece of sifting and crisp bizarre lies ahead.
Side quest complete.
Yes. Yeah, implied everyone, exactly. Oiniro Golem.
Probably.
Now Glory has a cult.
Yep.
Hey, we made 2 karma.
So,
Oh.
yeah.
So, new objective. There's a lot of new objectives.
There's a couple.
Let's see if Samuel has anything to say. How's Alexander doing? He's adjusting with difficulty. Alright.
I feel like there's no more
Accepting
you can
donations.
get from this guy.
Alright. Let's talk about something else. No questions. It's 10 o'clock.
It is indeed. How you
Now,
feeling?
pretty good. I have pay data to post as well, so let's go to the safe house. And now I have a techno shaman. Yeah. What the fuck? I mean, seriously. Let's talk to Blitz. How'd that last run go, Blitz? What one? What run? Oh, hey! Yeah! New things about Emily. Turn up anything new? Sort of. It's mostly speculation, truth be told. So what's the deal? Is she working with the Azzies or what? No, I don't think so, but I do have a new lead. After our talk, I went waiting the Az Technology Matrix hubs that I could find. Nothing too deep, don't worry. I didn't want to set up any alarm bells, but I had a hunch that if I poked around long enough, I'd find something that might lead to Emily, and sure enough I did. Message from the general article herself. She messaged you? Sure enough, sent me a note. Want to hear what it said? I'll tell you. The note said, and I quote, "Lay off, Blitz, I told you to leave me alone. You showed admirable self-control for the past year. Please don't give up on it now. I'll be back when I can if I can. Until then, keep away from me for both of our sakes." So I found her, and she wants nothing to do with me again. No explanations, no apologies. Verbal pat on the head. I showed admirable self-control? Really? She makes it sound like a toddler or something.
Oh.
So did you lay off? Hell no, I was going to stand for that. When did she get up stealing from me? Acting like it was my fault. Try to trace the message like any good Decker would.
Idiot.
I know you used the word tried.
Really?
She's good,
You
Beej.
wouldn't want to go with the middle one.
Better than I ever thought she was. I couldn't trace the damn thing. Could keep digging, though. I mean, she noticed me before. I must have been close. Now, before you say anything, I'm more discreet this time. Be subtle if I have to. Nobody knows what I'm doing, and did find another clue. I hesitate to ask. It's okay to tell you anyway. I found a connection between Emily and Seder Krupp. Ooh.
It's okay, I will tell you anyway.
Yay! So you think she's working for SK then? She'll encrypted data for you to give to them? Maybe, I don't know, it's confusing. I also need to track down some message fragments connecting her to the Schockwellenreiter. So maybe she was a SK mole, and she got close to me that she could, I don't know, so she could profit from my decking expertise? Maybe when she told me not to steal the data she was using for her psychology, that gotta be it. She must have wanted me to take it. And again, maybe she's the Schockwellenreiter, and she screwed both the Azzies and SK over. In this case, maybe she's with me because she genuinely wanted to be. Pause for a moment considering, seems to perk up. Either case, I should make an effort to find her. I mean, she's playing a dangerous game whether she's with SK or the Schockwellenreiter. If she's got herself in too deep, she might need help. I mean, why did she send me such a cryptic message?
The message, the one that says, go away.
Yeah. So
How
I can
is
either
that
say,
cryptic?
go after her, which may drive this forward, and then maybe there's like a, we already did the Blitz loyalty mission, but maybe something else comes up. I can say, maybe you should just stay far, far away, which might shut down whatever's going to happen, or say it's up to you at the end of the day, you're going to do whatever you want to do.
I don't think
anyway.
he'll listen to you no matter what you say.
Yeah.
Like, if you say yes, and it's meant to go forward. Like, it's probably meant to go forward. If you say no, he'll probably just be like, man, you know, no doesn't really mean no.
If it was me at this point, I probably would just be like, it's up to you, Blitz. At the end of the day, you're going to do whatever you want to do anyway.
Yeah, but
I feel like I want to be more supportive. I don't know if this is, like, there's 3 obvious choices. This is one of these things that's like, one of these trips a flag, or rather they all have flags. And we either shut the flag down, or we say, yeah, go for it. Or by saying it's up to you, it doesn't, it triggers a flag, but it does it in a way that is less subtle. Like, it's kind of like, oh, well, you only get you only get 1 point instead of 2 points. Like, this would be the 2-point option to do whatever. This would be the 0 point, and this would be the 1 point option, where you're kind of like hedging your bets. Go after her. You were absolutely right. Idiot.
Ugh.
I bet you spent the whole past year waiting for me to come riding into the rescue.
No.
Get set, Chief, you're about to witness an event.
Stupid.
Want my gung-ho personality and legendary kids go, the whole world stops to take notice. Ooh, I can deck with him. I'll give you a hand. If it's as serious as it's going to sound, you're going to need help.
Can he just go start making Blitzball already?
I'm going to help him. No thanks, Chief. I appreciate it, though. This is something I need to do alone. Besides which, I'm the best, remember? I just know a place with the same ass technology data. Know I've stolen the information from the first place. I don't know I can get past security. My gut tells me to find Emily there. Thanks for the encouragement, Chief. I knew that this was the right thing to do, of course, but you've helped me quite any lingering notes I had. And now, if you excuse me, I've got a damsel in distress to rescue.
Why are you enabling this stupid idiot? Why are you enabling him?
Because it makes the game so much more fun.
He's such an idiot.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Plummeting sloth. Blitz is filled with flags. He's Mr. Six fucking Flags.
Six Flags theme park Blitz.
Yeah. Six Flags over idiocy.
Oh, God.
Oh, right. Back when we took on Humanus, you said you'd fought in the Night of Rage. I'd like to hear more about that. Alright, boss, we can talk about it. He went for his flask. Already mentioned I joined Berlin's punks and anarchists joined forces to fight off the racists, right? And after a long bloody fight, we beat him. What I didn't mention is how I figured into all this. I'm an anarchist at all, the army had me, but at that time I fit squarely into the punk camp. I was 32 at the time. Messerkampf was still touring, not as much. I like to think of it every time it's like, I was 32 at the time. Messerkampf was still touring. Not as much as we did when we were kids, but we had a following. I guess sort of an elder statesman for the scene. It makes sense. When we rallied to fight the racists, my followers came along for the ride. Bunch of young kids, all full of piss and vinegar and the immortality of youth. I was full of the good old Dragon Slayer spirit, pissed off and itching for a fight. So I led those kids into the fray. They waited right alongside me, yelling and screaming with their fists in the air. I don't remember a whole lot of the fight, boss, but I do remember the aftermath. A lot of the kids that followed me grew up listening to my music. They had all my attitude, Beej, but none of them had any magic. And youthful enthusiasm is no defense against a knife or a handgun. Left the punk scene for all the reasons I told you, boss, but there's a bigger reason. I saw it in those kids' broken bodies. The road that I'm on leads to the grave. That's part to make a leisurely trip, but ignore scent, that's where I'm headed. Excuse me. Those kids tried to follow my footsteps and wound up sprinting ahead of me instead. Better for me to stay in the public eye and stick to the shadows. My stint as a role model was ill-advised. You given any thought to what I said earlier? Yeah, boss, I had an interesting idea. There's risks. I'm thinking this might be the best time. Might be the best time to approach him about it. It's just sort of magic, remember? Discussion turning an argument. He could take all that magic back in a heartbeat, and then where would we be? What you told me about the Dragon Slayer, I don't think he liked the way you're talking. Since when has he ever encouraged you back down from a fight? You just risking the reason. That's only going to some of the mess around again. I kind of like this, though.
You're in a very yes mood today.
I am. Got a point there, boss. He wouldn't want me to back down ever, not even from him. So I'm going to do this. So that's Dragon Slayer about shifting priorities, I guess you'd say. Taking on some deserving organization, coming off the hunt for something more impressive than the Firewing. Of course, a fight like that would never really end. I'm never going to bring in any corp or poly club all on my lonesome. The bad thing, it takes on the guesswork of life. No, boss, if you have any thoughts about this, I'd love to hear them. You already did some damage to Humanus. How about them? It could be your new white whale done after all this. If you want big and bad, how much to recruit bigger corp than they were only laid by an Ostcon dragon? Why tie yourself to this group? I say keep it fluid. Stomp anyone that threatens the flux. So it's either tie yourself to the free state, the flux state. Say to Croup, which is led by a dragon, or more Humanus because they're a bunch of friggin' racists and awful people.
Well,
they're a non-profit, but they're awful. An actual corp, or the state itself. The flux state, which is like a free state, which is just kind of like always in flux.
Number one.
I think Humanus is not bad. That's probably a good way to go. I think that led by an awesome god dragon, it's kind of the same thing as being a dragon slayer, right? Now you're actually yeah. Though not all dragons are bad. Number one. Okay.
Number one. Yeah.
Tempting, but like you said, I always kick them the holy hell of them twice. I'm going to do this new step forward. Dragon Slayer won't be satisfied with me retreading old ground.
Oh, so it doesn't matter. Okay.
Number two, say to Croup. Certainly thinking big. Give me a second, I'll ask. Slowly, a smile creeps across his face. Yeah, I think he'd like this plan just fine. That was it. That's all it took. Dragon Slayer doesn't mince word, boss. If you didn't like the plan, he'd have told me. Well, boss, got myself a plan, new target to boot. That's assuming, of course, any of us make the current predicament alive.
Is he talking to someone that we can't see?
Yeah, the Dragon Slayer.
Like with his brain?
He's a shaman.
On the phone? Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's right, magic thing.
Yeah. Berlin's punk because you benefit from your experience. I think the same thing. Maybe I could give back a bit, fix some of the damage caused by my misspent years. I never finished dealing with the crisis in front of us, that is. Good thought, though. Keep it in mind. How's Alexander doing? He's adjusting. Last run? Not right now. Nothing right now, Dietrich. Yay.
Yay.
Aiger wa doko? Oh, she's waiting down to do the other thing with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to go to Aiger's contact or something, and we can talk to Glory.
I think you have to go to the U-bomb or something.
Yeah.
It'll tell you in the objectives area.
Yay! Glory stands in perspective over base. At the sound of approach, she turns to face you. Thank you for your help. First child could have done without you. I need to talk to you about that. Some things are sound there and surprise. Go ahead, Beej, I'm listening.
I think you're gonna get.
Yeah,
to
we're gonna
ask
get to do all of
these,
them.
So
Hera got away just like he
Might
said
as
he
well.
would. Yeah, and he's already putting distances in his Shinbook forest. How do you want to go about tracking him? Do you think we did the right thing back there?
1.
Finding Hera's going to be a full-time job. I can't drag no with Silver Great Dragon hanging over our heads. After full clearing the fire wing, I'll do it with myself to finding the bastard and finishing this. But for now, we keep our eyes on the road ahead. What did you do with the cultists? Did you send them to Samuel? It's enough to worry about keeping the people of Crispus are safe. Those kids were rescues. They've been damaged by Hera's philosophies. They can get better, and it's going to take time. Trying to get to them in society to really be dangerous. Where did they go? Took them to the talismonger, Algernon. Oh, hey! Said that he knew a place where they could get help. Won't be here for them equipped, but they'll get better in time. You looked distraught when she died. How are you holding up? Looking at me expecting to feel this are complicated.
3?
I'd rather say 2, but I want to talk about it some more.
I think I should tell Blitz it's okay to do weird things, but
I don't want to push her on this. It's been really, I mean, I don't want to take like just kind of the I'm making conversation thing, right? Like I want to be more. This has been really rough on her, but
she doesn't want to talk to you. She won't.
Yeah.
You need to stop treating her with kid gloves.
Complicated? How so? Kill the first person I ever loved. Whatever Marta might have been, she'd always be that. So she's dead, yes, but I'm not sure what the alternative would be. Say nothing. There's a new definition of the term damaged goods. Can't even mention the psychological trauma she'd be carrying if she were alive today. Take her years to recover, and that time she'd still be dangerous. It's probably better the way things turn out they did. I just keep telling myself anyway. Alright. Thanks again. Help. Postpay. Oh, moving on. We unlocked
An achievement, probably side quest thing.
Shadowrun BBS. Post-pay data. Here's bribe records. Rad. Claim payment. Sold. Sharing Farm AG. What did we make off that? Oh, 387. That's not bad. Something. Go back. New messages.
No new messages.
Stats the Alice Fund. Oh, we're so close.
We're getting closer.
Let's do keyword search. Nothing. Jobs directory. Pending and active jobs. That's technology sabotage run. And we still got Iger's thing to do.
Yeah.
So we have to go to... I just want to be sure that... Okay.
Night Lord Hosk.
Night Lord Hosk. We were probably going to wrap up here, I think, reasonably fast. And we start at 8, right? We run till 10. We might only play like another half hour, I think. I don't see us actually playing for terribly too long.
We wanted to do at least 2 hours.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we got bumped because of the special thing. But we agreed that we'd go as long as you felt like you were okay to go.
Yeah. So I think we'll poke around a little more.
We've done the 2 hour minimum.
Yeah. We're not going to do a...
we're going to keep going until we feel like maybe we've had enough.
Yeah. I think that's probably a good idea.
Which seems fair. I mean, we've already run a bit later, which is kind of cool. I'm hoping that means some other people have gotten to hang out.
These are all right. Okay, so she's...
I know I'm looking forward to eating some real food soon-ish.
Yeah, me too.
Because I ate some chocolate and drank some champagne. And it seems like an inappropriate supper.
Mm-hmm. So Luca's there. What was this again? I'll hold on to it. I haven't had a use for that cheap booze anywhere else, and I am wondering what I should do with it. Yeah. Mods are asleep, post pictures of ponies. Can you click that for me, please?
I can try.
That would be lovely.
Oh.
Got there?
Maybe? No, not quite.
We'll
Let me
get
try
there.
again. I'll get there again. Haha. Oh.
Cute.
Now let's see if I can close the whistle window.
Oh, that's easy.
No. Yeah.
Alright, that's fine too.
We'll make the mouse work. Yeah, we only had the one white elephant get food the one time. But that was special. We dressed up and it was a special thing.
Mm-hmm.
We're clearly not dressed up now. It's just casual times. Casual times with Beej and Heather.
Oh, Mamo is indisposed, I see. So he's around. Stay here for now. We're going to go talk to Iger's contact because I want to do that mission.
It wasn't Husk the entire time. It was he. Dio.
Yeah. Rayla, Oda, we're staying up later for, a couple of reasons. One, I don't work until Friday.
Yeah, Beej doesn't work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Ha! Winter vacation times. Sort of, except for all the minus extra work filming.
Exactly.
The extra days.
So it's, I'm happy to stick around and do stuff. I really should just get a really powerful gun because I already reload for 0 anyway. But to do that, I'm going to need to get, I need to take my gun level up some. Because, I kept the Predator because it's damage of 10, I'm like, that's fine, and cap of 15, I'm like, okay, that's fine too. But, I could be, if I sold some of these other things that I had. Let's see, what do I have for equipment? So I could sell this other Ares Predator I have. I think did I?
You only have
Maybe that is just, that's mine that I already
404
have. Okay.
new in.
Yeah.
I don't think you can sell enough things
Probably not.
without basically not having anything.
Yeah, it's a good point.
So, I understand wanting to get the nicer gun,
Yeah.
the better gun.
If I get that
But
Ruger...
you are a
Yeah.
poor decker.
I am a very poor decker. Well, yeah. Making all this money for the Alice's, and it's like, for the Alice Fund, and it's like, this is all very well and good, except...
You can't access any of it to actually...
Yeah, I can't be like, I'm gonna go frickin' trick out my...
Well, I think the point is that so you can't overdo yourself.
Exactly. That's why I'm keeping all my cram, yo.
Lord Hosk thought you went to bed. But I agree about that statement. Sell things in a game. Give up some of your pocket space? No. Hang on to everything? Why, yes.
Makes a lot more
I might need
sense.
all those potions in Super Mario.
Lucky Strike. I can talk to Lucky Strike again.
Alright.
Cigarette taking between the fingers of your right hand, shows a glass of scotch on your left. Fancy seeing you again.
Oh.
I was hoping you'd want to chat. No? Got me intrigued. What do you want to talk about? Do you know anything about an organization called The Lodge? Dearest Group, you mean? Sure, I've done a few jobs for them, pay well. I'm in a secret organization thing they try to keep going is a little weird, but whatever. Money is money, they got it.
Are these the Freemasons?
No, they're not.
Okay.
This thing can tell is just a middle-rung toady, like any other corporate seat might deal with before a run. This organization is a corp. The fresh face what the Lodge has them doing in the beginning of their credibility. She's had a hard time taking the guy seriously, but then he started waving wads of nooning around. That cleared up in a flash. He's an occasional client. Even if I knew something to do, I wouldn't tell you. Shadowrun's kiss and tell. Have a funny way of dying young. Did you find much work recently? Course Bazaar in best state to do it. Ton of jobs so you don't have a network. You know people in the Course Bazaar? You have a network? Me. Not quite. Your client, not a friend. No advice. menu, but career's back in meat, and we're doing just fine on the job front. Also visit your little class between runs to restock and relax. Good place for that, nice and slow paced. It's quaint. I don't know. I wonder if I want to... That'd be interesting.
Oh?
I suppose I would. Like I said, I got a team of my own, good people who earn my loyalty 100 times over. Do a little moonlighting here and there, but they can't kind of leave up and build on them. Stay like this. You need for a run available, just need to pay me first. Keeps getting clean and simple. Bartender here any good? Nope. It's called Der Weinkeller for a reason. The guy from the Bush League sommelier, they serve proper bartender, knows a bit about wine. Comes to mixing drinks, he's useless. If you want to drink, you're going to stick to something simple. Try to learn something more than 2 ingredients, you're asking for trouble. You wine drinker then? No, never developed a taste. I'm a big fan of sweet things. Never have been, not even when I was a kid. Always preferred smoke. If you don't like wine, we'll hang out in a wine bar. Usually empty in here, don't like to be bothered. And help as a bartender, it's tough to mess up scotch if you order it neat. I gotta run. See ya.
Okay.
And meanwhile, back here,
Uh-oh.
in the kitchen.
Where the giant guy is like... Boom, 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 boom.
And then there's this. Oh, Bannock. There's Iger. There's a distinctly Eurasian appearance. Appears up at Iger through almond state. So it's a dwarf, and what is she? Is she a troll or orc?
I thought she was a troll,
Okay.
but I'm not...
A plate of day-old pie cools in a haze of cigarette smoke.
Ooh, day-old pie.
Mm-hmm. Hoy, Iger, been a long time. Keeping busy? To that, Beej is Bannock, he's a friend. Don't know if I go that far. Keeping friends, I might call you one, but in my experience, friendship and obligation go hand in hand. Solitary life is cleaner. Professional acquaintance, then. Better. Now let's get down to business, shall we? Let's see intel on the engineer where he's been saying he's been working for Hollywood and shot nest. Whatever you got, we want it. Speaks with a spears a hunk of pie, his forks grounded in his mouth, starts to chew. More later. I've had worse, and of course, I give you what I can. But I don't know much. I can put it in the right direction, that's all.
Mm.
Just tell us what you can. We'll handle a little heavy lifting. Dwarf nods, fumbles his jacket pocket for something. Produces a weather paper map and spreads on the table. All right, what you're looking at is the northwest quadrant of Schottennest, gang territory, all of it. These days, the whole class is being held by Rambok. As far as there's enough of them left to hold much of anything. Taking a hit a little while back. That was you, huh? Good on you. You should know they're still alive and well, and the guy who took over gang leadership is a real piece of work. If anything, they're worse than they were before. Stabs a meaty finger down the faded silhouette of a building. This warehouse right here is Rambok HQ, and that's where the engineer is staying. Wonderful. He's staying there, so we're reaching some sort of deal with them. That'd be a safe bet. They haven't pulled their guns on him yet, so safe to assume negotiations are going well. I'm sure they don't have to tell you this, but the last thing we need is an alliance between some former syndicate and Rambok, and no good could come of that. I can't argue with that. I can't tell you who the engineer's working for. I'll have to about it yourself, but I can do is make it easier for you to have a sit-down with him. Here's a canvas bag. Don't open that in here. People in this room that kill you for something in that bag. Tell us what it is, or do we have to guess? Or I'd kill them first. But you can find there's a gadget about the size of a water pistol, rubberized grip and a hair trigger, and it's good for one shot. Stun gun? No, not really. For your purposes, you might as well think of it as one though. Question cyber deactivator. Ooh, I had a ship there, great personal expense from Supermax prison in UCAS. Or know me a favor. Very nice, Bannock. This should make this easy. Not easy. Possible. I wouldn't be giving you to you if the job can be done without it. Engineers are rocking Delta grade move by wire system. Unless you can shut it down, there's no way in hell you're going to catch him. If you shut it down, he'll be forced in a state of permanent seizure. Only until he gets the thing up and running again. Deactivated isn't the same as broken. Until then... Oh, I'm sorry. Until then, your life will be a living hell. But I can think of worse things to use as a bargaining chip. Remember, you need to know who he works for. Where you can take him out of his comfort zone, the better. Sounds like we have a plan. Sounds that way. Thanks, Bannock. We'll let you know how things work out. Don't worry, I'll be watching.
Cool.
Take the U-Bahn to Schottennest, and now we've met with the contact. And that's Iger's loyalty mission started. Whoa, somebody's dumping codes.
Yeah, Bafinka's given out a code file.
My goodness.
For Train Simulator.
On Steam. It's 10:19. What else can be done here? I think we talked to just about everybody I want to talk to. Let's look at my Civic Center again. Yep, there it is. All right. I will have a stretch.
Okay, me too.
Jazz hands. Everybody have a good stretch.
Stretch.
Scotch and soda. What's in it? Scotch
And
soda.
What kind of soda? No, there's
Yeah.
like what kind of soda?
Just soda.
You know,
Soda? Just
like
soda water? Oh.
Oh, that's what that is.
Cryptastic. So, anti-clockwise?
I don't know. The guy was talking and chewing food in his mouth.
So funny.
I don't feel like he's professional enough for anti-clockwise.
Funny thing about that, the anti-clockwise thing that I was really happy about is that we had said, like, we're like, okay, so clockwise. And like we said, it's going to, like, Cam would have to just basically, because Cam is not right-handed, he's left-handed. But he can't hold the gun left-handed because it's not a left-handed gun. So he has to hold it right-handed. But so the character's right-handed, I guess, whatever. Or he makes do. But yeah, he would have boofed Missy in the head if he had to like swing that thing around. It wouldn't have worked.
We also had that thing where, because it was originally clockwise, and the first few times before Cam figured out that wasn't working, everyone kept pointing. Some people were pointing in the right direction, others were not.
And it was really funny. But so when we figured, we can't do that, so it's like, oh yeah, counterclockwise. And it had just occurred to me, I'm like, I think these people would say anti-clockwise, and I said, yeah, anti-clockwise. And I think Alex was the one who has that line where it's like, so anti-clockwise. So I think he'd like, I don't know if he'd heard me say it or if it occurred to him too that he should say it as well or whatever happened, but I was like, oh, we got to say anti-clockwise, which I love.
They had a bit of a conversation about it.
But what should be said?
You might have had to have gone and gotten another thing at that point.
Yeah, that might have been the case.
I think what was interesting, I don't think it was so much like Alex said clockwise and then people were like, I don't know what direction that is.
Yeah.
So much as, because when he said it, everybody like pointed at the other team.
Yeah.
Rather than just...
Yeah, they're all supposed to go in the other direction. Yeah.
So it was... I kind of felt that was funny because it was like, oh yeah, we're totally going to agree that we'll just all do it, except it's more of a thing of like, we won't budge.
It would have been kind of funny if they're just like, because I almost wanted the line to be like, so the usual, okay, and then they all do anti-clockwise, like they've done this they've all shot each other in the head thousands of times, and they're just used to it. What's up? Oh yeah, Widdershins is a great sound.
Widdershins?
Yeah, Widdershins. You read Discworld novels. So there's Turnwise and Widdershins.
Like a few.
Okay, so
do they talk about that in the first 6?
They do, because the disc has to rotate, right? But the thing is like Earth rotates, like east to west, kind of that thing. So on the disc, because it is essentially it's a 2D surface. Yeah. It's a 2D surface, but it is just a disc.
It's flat. Okay.
So you have 4 directions, and because north is not really a thing, because not everywhere is not north, but hubwards is a thing.
Okay, that I remember.
So hubwards is an actual direction that everybody walks towards the hub.
Mm-hmm.
The direction out I can't remember, but turnwise is the way the disc is turning. So you're going to walk with the turn.
Years.
Widdershins is the opposite direction. And Widdershins actually does come up, I think, in some of the early books. You might have just... Oh, yeah, and Rimward is the other one. Hubward.
Rimward, yeah. I was going to say, it has. I knew the one that going out had to do with the fact that it was going over...
Anti-clockwise, in Canada, I've only ever heard people say counterclockwise.
Yeah, I've not really heard anti-clockwise.
Yeah, anti-clockwise is more European, which I thought is funny... it sounds nicer because it kind of implies that Cain and Crowthorne, who are must be North American for whatever reason, right? But there's a sense I have that they would have done something else. Yeah, I know Widdershins actually exists outside of Discworld, but yeah, it's just something you don't hear people say often, and it's really great that it fits into Discworld as like it sounds exotic, right? But that idea of Alex saying anti-clockwise kind of makes me feel like these are people who probably trained in Europe. They probably know a lot about like Arclight Dynamos is like SAS training. Like they could have done a lot of those different things. It's not like they just came straight out of like the American military or whatever. It's like no, they have probably been special ops on a lot of different things, and to them, anti-clockwise is just probably something that they say that they're just used to hearing. Or it's one of those things, plummeting sloth. They learned from their time in the French Foreign Legion. I also think there's probably a good chance that maybe they did, but who knows, right? Like they just happen to be part of this world that anti-clockwise would probably come up more often as something you'd say than counterclockwise. And maybe that's because it's a shorter term as well, but yeah. Oh, Wittershins comes from Old German to mean to go against. Thank you, What the Bus. To go against. Because you would go against the natural flow, or I guess not natural flow, but the flow of the circle. It's 10:30. We started roughly around 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'm keen to not start another mission because I don't know how long it's going to take.
Fair.
And so therefore, we can just sit around here for like another 10 minutes and chat with people if you want. Because I'm completely fine with that.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Did you save?
I did. Just saved.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And anti-clockwise, is distinctly a British thing. I have a feeling it is distinctly a non-American English thing. So that just there's some appeal there it has to me. But I've only ever heard people say counterclockwise in Canada, which would kind of make sense.
I've only heard counterclockwise here.
Yeah, and then I mean anti-clockwise is something I've only ever heard in like British comedies and British TV shows and stuff like that. So whether or not that terminology applies to anything else that like other English speakers in Europe or in like other parts of the world, I wouldn't know. Like I don't know if Australia says it or not. But Lunatic 93. Oh, that's really rad. I hope yours was the one that nailed me in the balls.
You're strange.
He shot a tennis ball we shot the tennis ball with his or her with their name on it.
No, I read that.
Yeah.
I just still think that you're strange that you wish it was that one.
Yeah. It's no longer 10:30 yet.
I don't have those kinds of parts, but it seems awful.
Yeah. It's
Pipe.
What was great is the brims, like I said, the brims worked. Yeah, the brims worked. Holy crap. Like when I got nailed there, I felt it hit something. And I had structured the hat so that it was brim slightly over top of the other brim, and I'm like, I think that's all low enough that it'll hold it all in place, and that way I don't get nailed in the junk, and it worked. But I also felt like when I started taking hits in the body, I was like, I don't think the brims are going to do anything now. From how fast those things are going, I think they're going to hurt. But, yeah. Caffeinated lemur.
Yeah.
I'm glad you were the only responsible adult there, so I appreciate that.
He literally was, because James was all like, oh yeah, we'll totally crank it up. And
hey,
he was
Adam.
like, nope.
Adam has entered the chat.
Hey, Adam. Hi.
Adam, we're not playing anymore tonight, so come on to chat. Or if other people are actually going to be starting their streams soon, feel free to go check out that stuff as well.
I mean, some people might just be, I don't know, Christmas holidaying it up.
Yeah, that would be super good.
Or I don't know. There used to be snow outside where I lived, so that would be like a thing of like I read book now because I'm trapped inside. I want quiet times. I feel less appeal to read books in the middle of winter when there's no snow.
Yeah. Oh, look, it's snowing in the game.
That's true. No, wait.
I wonder if it changes based on your clock.
No, wait. Didn't we say that was ash?
Maybe it's ash.
I'm pretty sure we pointed this out once before in a previous episode.
All right. Yeah, no, zero fun zone right now.
Yeah.
You should have come in earlier and actually playing a game. Now we're done. Wait, it's less than 30 degrees in Arizona right now? Well, my parents must be freezing.
Maybe.
Okay, so the large ball, I think, was thrown by Alex.
I believe Alex did throw it.
Yeah. We were trying not to let that be seen in the background until, like, when we were loading balls. We didn't want that seen immediately. So there's that scene where I think Alex walks by with the ball. You can just you see, like, a few seconds of it while people are reading out names, but, yeah.
Well, I mean, we just watched this video the other night.
Yeah, exactly. So
we finally got to see it all. That thing of me jumping up and down saying hit him in the nuts is like one of the few things in which I chanted during your thing.
Yeah.
I chanted many more.
Yeah. Yeah, the full... So in the second one, when we had it up to around 70 or 75, and I had the face mask on, I'm like, F it, I'll take a couple of shots. Like, I'll get out there in front of those balls. And so the first one came at me.
Immediate regret.
And, and I was like, okay, that's fast. Yeah, that does sting. I had not realized how fast... Like, when it hit me in the face... And if you go back and... Because we didn't have slow-mo of that, and we probably would have used it if we had slow-mo of that, perhaps. But the friggin... That ball hit me right here, and the face mask stopped right here, essentially. Like, it just curves around underneath the thing. And if I had kept my face... Like, kept my chin down, it would have probably, hit me in the thing, and it would have, like... Bleh. But I had my head up because I was like, oh, I have to, you kind of like flinch because you don't want to get hit by it in the head.
Except then it went...
Except it hit like bing right here. And me wandering around, when I watched the video, I'm like, Jesus, that does not rightfully communicate exactly what had happened. Because that knocked me the fuck... Like, I was just like, oh... That's why I put my hand up like, no, we're done, because I thought I don't know what's gonna happen, but I literally lost all sense of balance for like a couple seconds. It was...
Beej did not actually obtain bruises.
No.
I know James
really
did.
Weird. Yeah.
I don't think Kathleen or anyone else really did.
Yeah.
Actually, Cam might have. But Beej had no bruise impacts.
Yeah, those all hurt. Like, everybody after the fact were all like, yeah, that hurt. So
funny fact, he accidentally had 31 balls because I didn't realize I was supposed to stop giving them out.
Oh, okay.
And then at that point you actually had yelled back no more than 30, and I was like, oh, okay, sure, yeah. Why not? Yeah. No more than 30. It's totally 30.
Yeah, James kept getting it in the shoulder, and he ended up like the other thing too. Sorry to have freaked you out, Caffeinated Lemur, when I got hit in the head like that. I think it freaked you out, too. Like, something had rattled my chain, so...
I like the way your face looks.
Yeah. And,
but... It needs to be cleaned up.
Yeah. I decided to not... I haven't done this since I was 18, grown my whiskers out just to see how long they can get in a week. I grew them out for about 3 months one time, and it didn't get any longer than this. So we're just going to see what happens now that I actually am older, whether or not anything happens. But somebody else had said something, and I wanted to make mention of that. But yeah, everyone did comment on this. Friggin' did hurt, and Ian was definitely fun. Like, the fact that Ian did so well with the Shinai, that was really cool.
My favorite thing about Ian's was first the hat falls off, and then the other thing falls off.
The cloak comes off,
and then he just falls down.
Yeah. And the I don't know if anyone's mentioned this on any other stream yet or not, but the crossbow, as fired by Corey, so that had a blunt in it. Like, Corey's been in the SCA for years and years. I'm pretty sure she built that crossbow.
Maybe, probably.
Yeah.
It seems like a Corey thing. Yes.
I know she's built crossbows. I think that one is one that she's built. I can't say for sure. But yeah, so that was we cut open one of our balls. Oh, I know what I wanted to say about the balls. Cut open one of the balls and fit it on the end of the blunt. And the idea was to shoot that thing to hit Ian in the head.
I'll be right back.
She's used to that. She's used to, because that's what you do in SCA apparently, is when you shoot a blunt, the idea is you aim for somebody's head for two reasons. Usually the armor is very good, but also I get the main reason is that if you hit them during combat and you hit them in the shoulder, like chest or anything else like that, and it just glances off, usually things are so loud and they're usually so well protected, they don't know they've been hit. But if you hit somebody in the head with an arrow, they know they've been hit. And she's also said that before you're allowed to go into battle for the first time, like when the Shire that she fights for, before you're allowed to battle, I think it is, or she would make this a lot more clear than I would, you have to get shot by the blunt, because you have to know how the arrow feels when it hits you.
Well, you have to get hit by whatever you're going to be sparring with.
Yeah, exactly.
I believe is the rule. I went to see if there was still the tennis ball in the tennis in the guitar, because someone asked if we knew, and I thought it was still in there, but it looks like it's been finally taken out, so I can't answer that question.
So it didn't get shoved further down?
I can't find it in there. You
Okay.
can
The last
check if you
time I
want.
saw it was in there, but it's been over a week, so.
Well,
yeah.
it was in there earlier, but I moved it and I couldn't see it, so I can't answer the question.
Yeah. So there was a very decent drop on that when he got hit in the groin. The other thing about the balls, which we didn't talk about, as Captain Lemur said, the tennis balls, those were not tennis balls you would use on a court. We actually tried bouncing them next to like an actual tennis ball to see what's the bounce like on these things. And these things just go smush. Like you throw them at the ground and they'll like come up maybe like about 6 inches, if that. Whereas a proper tennis ball, you can do that and it'll come up like most of the way. So these are dog fetchers, is what these are. These are like a very light, cheap, crappy ball that you put in your ball tosser for your dogs to fetch. They had no business being in a launcher. And we found that out because as you use them, as you put them through the launcher, the wheels are spinning so fast that they actually melt the fibers on them.
The fibers were getting melted. The couple that had broken didn't even break along the seam of the ball, which Captivated Lemur had shown us, like, because an actual ball has the round, like, kind of the 8-figure
you have
seam,
that.
but these have, like, a melded just around the ball seam, and it wasn't even breaking there like it should have.
That was
kind of cool.
Breaking on this weird, like, just wherever it would make an impact, it would just crack there, which meant that when we were having that, it was like, it was a, anyway, I can't really explain the way I want to, but that's okay. So, but yeah, they were totally dog toys, and so we have saved all of them. We actually were not putting, when we were going back to reload them into the launcher again. We were trying to be careful when we were gathering them all back up. If any of them cracked, we were trying not to put them in the box to go back in the machine. They were like, this is garbage now. We do not use this again, because something like that, if it's already cracked when the machine grabs it, it's just going to crack some more, and it's just going to go flying off to. And we actually had a couple that just went like. Just flew off instead of straight. They kind of went off to the side a bit. So
there, the one that landed in the Vuvuzela, is still stuck there because it will never come out.
Yeah, that really. I mean, it was being fired very fast, and it got very struck. The only way to get it out probably is we'd have to dowel from behind and just really like slam it.
You know what? If that instrument never works again, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with it too. So, yeah, it hurt at 45 miles per hour. It really hurt. Once it got ramped up faster and faster, certainly, and you'll notice that not everybody got in front of those. The more uncomfortable thing I think I had to do was just actually wearing the mask in the first place. Like I was really getting like ramped up to be in this thing, and I actually by the end I was like my heart was really pumping really hard because I was really amped up to be in the whole thing. But that face mask, I seem to have a problem where if I wear something over my face and there's a band that goes around the back of my head, the band puts pressure on something at the back of my head, and it's incredibly uncomfortable. It just feels like something is grabbing the back of my head and just squeezing it and pinching it and pushing into it. It's very uncomfortable. And so when I put on that full helmet, there's no room for your nose in that either, so that kind of sucked too. But
do you have any idea what we might stream when we're done with Shadowrun?
I don't know yet.
We're discussing.
Yeah.
We're discussing some possibilities.
There are other things in the backlog, plus by the time we finish this, it'll be time for a palate cleanser anyway.
Yeah, so... we have had actual conversations instead of putting it to the last minute this time, but we're still not... I mean, we have some time yet to really figure it out, so...
Yeah. So, what I'll have to be, when we eventually upload this at some point, we may have to put a note, or tell Alex, or do something just to kind of note that if you see the one that says 10:30 Newfoundland, that's when you cut off the thing. It's just when you're, when it hits a certain point in the stream and we just say we're going to start talking, you just cut off everything after that. Was this supposed to be palate cleanser? I can't remember.
No.
Because this was purchased for us.
Palate cleansers are typically only one-day things.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to play a little of this, I think, though, and then stop.
Did we do Ogre Battle as palate cleanser?
We did.
Yeah, so that was palate cleanser because we only did that for a night.
But I think the intention of this was that I might play this for like maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and if I enjoy it, I'll keep playing it. If I don't, then I'll stop.
You hadn't decided if you were going to play the whole game. I feel like you've kind of just gone over to playing the whole game at this point.
It's so good.
So, At this point, you have to play the whole game.
Yep.
Because I don't want you to do that whole thing where you're like, I'm just not going to play the end.
Yeah.
Because you seem to do that a lot.
This will help me do that.
Yes.
There are other things in my backlog that I have things actually I've started playing at home that I kind of feel like I should bring them in here to play more of, because I would actually then get through I might have to start them over because it's been a while, but it's like...
For certain things it might be a really good idea.
Yeah.
Beej has a bad habit of playing a game almost all the way to completion, like literally the last boss battle, and then stopping
walking away
and never playing the ending of it.
What I hate more than anything is when a game ends, when I'm having such a good time. So we'll see. It's more GeoGuessr.
I feel like we can only do that for so long.
I loved that all of us in the room were like, GeoGuessr, okay, what are we going to do here? Oh, look at this. This looks an awful lot like Central Alberta. Yeah, where is this? Well, maybe it's between, St. Albert and Westlock. Maybe, yeah, this kind of seems like that.
Honestly, they all look like Central.
Click, 150 kilometers away. It's near Camrose. It's like, oh my god. Of course.
I like the one that you guys cheated on where you found the sign that actually pretty much said where you were.
We got dropped on a road in Japan that was like, oh, this way to Morioka and this way to Kita Akita. And the thing is that Ian and I both know where those places are. So we were like, well, if it's where these two highways cross, we should be about here. And if you're this way from Morioka and Kita Akita's that way, the only two roads that are going to line up over here. So boom, we're right here. And we were like, what? We were 250 meters away from where we're supposed to be. That was super good. There are other.
Stop playing with my chords.
Any things that you think that we're probably going to play again? It's going to be stuff that came out for the US Wii or GameCube. 39 kilometers. That's not bad.
I don't know. I'm kind of hoping I can
convince me to do
into maybe another DS game. Or something.
That would be good. I've played most of the DS games. I don't think there's any left over that I wanted to finish, but I guess we can see.
We'll talk.
We can talk about it. We'll have to go look through the backlog.
I have a special
Band
3DS
Brothers.
game.
I guess so. Band Brothers.
I have a special 3DS game that I've told Kathleen about that I'm hoping that her and I can do a one stream on.
Oh, that'd be fun.
That I'm not going to bring up here because everybody would look it up and understand how horrifying it is.
It is ideas, yeah. Yeah.
So that one will not be for you because I don't think you'd enjoy it at all. I think Kathleen might find points of it that are pretty enjoyable, or just downright awful.
Yeah. We have played. We own all the Layton games that have been released.
Yes.
I am currently on The Last Spectre. I don't know if I'm actually going to pick that up and play it. I have thought about bringing a Layton game to play here. The problem is that... thank you. The worry I have about bringing a Layton game to play on the stream is that I'm a hunter. Like, I will be pecking everywhere to try to get hint coins and try to get 100% everything. And if I don't get the...
Completionist.
And do you want to actually literally watch me sit here like... Okay, so it's number 98 and... Alright, so there's these three guys. And then I have to also turn off the chat because inevitably somebody will come in and say, oh, well, this is the answer. And I'll be like...
10 matchsticks.
Yeah. What was it again? Yeah. I have 10 matchstick. Fuck you!
Yeah, that's a Penny Arcade
Oh,
comic.
it's my favorite Penny Arcade. Oh... Just trade back and forth with you. I have 12 or I have 10 matchstick.
Put down the drawbridge or something. It's because they need to cross, and he's just like, I'm just gonna start telling you about the puzzle.
It's just Tycho being pissed off for 2 frames, and then it's like, look at this fucker. What is this? I have 10 matchstick. Oh god. You will probably never see me play Dark Souls. Wii U games will probably come eventually, but they're just too...
we don't have many right now.
Yeah.
And we probably at this point will not really ever be playing Hyrule Warriors on stream.
I have finished both Oendon games. They are probably not coming in here. I love Oendon games, but...
I feel like a rhythm game is just asking for the person on stream well, there's that, but to never pay attention to what chat is doing ever again.
Bufinka has brought up Henry Hatsworth in The Puzzling Adventure.
I have looked into that game. I haven't
Adam
tried
owns it. He really liked it.
Oh.
Not the Adam from here, an Adam we know from Edmonton.
Yeah.
There's also Dr. Lautrec if we really wanted to fuck with
No.
everybody. There's a whole bunch of good stuff. You know how expensive Eternal Darkness is online right now? Jesus
just looking.
effing Christ.
He's not happy.
I have been looking because I had an opportunity to buy that game used for like $15 or $20 back when Blockbuster was doing clearouts or something, or Rogers Video or whatever. Somebody was doing a clear out because they would sell their used games, and I looked at that and I'm like, but I'm never going to play Eternal Darkness because I'm not a fan of horror games. And a friend of mine had it and he was playing, but I'm like, I don't really want to own that. So I just kind of was like, it's not really, and then I look at it now and it's like, Jesus, they're going for $30 used. Maybe I should buy it. But I don't ever want to play it. The only person who's really into horror games is probably going to be Alex, and at some point he wants to play it, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Earthbound has been a game Beej has already played.
Yeah.
To completion.
Thanks to my wife.
To such completion. Yeah, I bought that as one of your Christmas gifts or something.
Oh, it was good. Playing Earthbound on the Wii U was just so good. And I think,
glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah. I think that if anybody else, Kathleen had mentioned she wants to do that. I thought about playing Mother, and then I tried Mother and realized not in your fucking life. Especially after playing Earthbound, I was like, I will not go back and play Mother. I mean, the playing the because Mother 1 and 2 also came on a GBA cartridge, so that's Earthbound 0 and Earthbound, right? There has been a fan translation, I think, of Mother, and I don't know if it actually takes cues from Earthbound 0's translation to do that or not. But I could play that because the graphics are way better, except for the fact that when I was doing a lot of reading about Earthbound 0 and about Mother, I realized the game is inherently unfair and incredibly grindy.
Have you played...
so I won't touch it.
Have you played Phoenix Wright versus Layden yet?
No. I also haven't played Dual Destinies yet. I want to play both of those at some point.
Okay.
So... All sorts of things you're hearing about that
I feel like Layden versus Wright, you could probably do on stream.
Lysander Gustav wants to know about the fan game Mother 4. I hope that's a rhythm game. It's just all it is a rhythm game.
I like rhythm games.
Yeah.
I just don't think that they'd work great on stream. I feel like I get very intensely focused on trying to beat the rhythms. I don't know if I just don't think a rhythm game would do great for stream if chat actually wants to be talked to by anybody.
Yeah.
I think I'd probably go insane trying to watch you play a rhythm game.
Well, sure. I had a friend of mine who owned Eternal Darkness, and he showed me some of it. He says, you got to dig this, you got to dig this. And he started showing me some of the insanities that happen in-game and happen to the game. And I was like, okay, this is really cool. This is a really neat idea. Some cool ideas that they got going on in here. Still wasn't my cup of tea. But I was really impressed with what they had come up with for some, and I don't want to talk about them because anyone who hasn't seen the game, you can either go check it out yourself or you can, you wait until somebody here eventually gets a copy of it and then wants to play it themselves.
I think you'd like Dark Cloud.
Oh yeah, that's the Zelda-alike for the PS2.
PS2.
Yeah.
They made a sequel, but I've played the first one, and there are parts of it I think you'd really enjoy.
Okay.
Mostly city building.
Oh Christ, Bugs Bunny Crazy Castle. MTV CDM, not on your life.
Ooh, do you think we could find a copy of those terrible CDI Zelda games?
Probably. Somebody's probably ripped the ISOs for those.
Could we play those? I've only heard that they're terrible.
Oh, I don't want to do that. I am actually. I own a copy of Wonderful 101. It's the only platinum game I've played so far that I enjoy. It seems. Really, the only platinum games that I can think of that I've played have been Wonderful 101 and the demo for Bayonetta 2.
I need to stop playing with the code.
And they seem really, really close to each other. And then to find out that Platinum had made the Legend of Korra game, I do want to try it, but I also feel like I'll be getting exactly what I get out of Wonderful 101 or anything else, except it'll be in a Korra setting. And I mean, Wonderful 101 has interesting controls and has like the setup of it. I love the kitsch of it, So Wonderful, like Platinum games, I think might be. We have a way of making a game. It is all about persistent climax or constant climax or whatever they call it.
Big moments.
Yeah, but what they want is they want that to be the entire game. We want you to move from climax to climax to climax and always feel like you're always doing something really amazing.
and we want to change it up enough that those things are always coming. And in the Bayonetta setting, that did not grab me. I was like, so I'm fighting these angels, but I'll also be fighting these demons. I'm fighting on the back of, like, in the demo, it's like you fight on the back of a fighter jet.
The demo yet.
And then you're fighting in this on a moving train, and then you're flying and fighting the boss and all these kind of things. I'm like, yeah, there's all these really cool things going on, but wasn't really something that really kind of grabbed me. And yet in Wonderful 101, I liked that kind of bright look, and I liked the whole I turned off. I turned on subtitles and put it to Japanese voice, because I'm like, this is what I want this game to be. What I want it to be is a Japanese Sentai series that I get to play.
The being able to listen to the Japanese audio and read subtitles is really good. I like that.
Yeah, there's something so good about that culturally. That's like, yeah, because you guys know how to make this kind of ridiculous, over the top crap, because you've been making Sentai series for almost 40 years. So Korra was something that I was like, what is that going to look like? I mean, it's an anime fighter, right? Like, I know that Korra is not anime specifically, but it is anime. Like, when you think about what it is kind of supposed to be,
it's American anime.
Yeah, and it's like Ruby is an American anime, like that kind of thing. It's like, this is the same kind of thing. It is, we're making a serial, and I thought maybe Platinum can actually pull that together. I don't know. Some people have said it's good. Some people have said it isn't. The thing I liked about, like, if you're going to play an Avatar game, you need to go into the Avatar state, because every kid who's going to have seen this show is like, well, at some point I want to take a hang and I want to go into the Avatar state. Right? And then Korra, it's the same thing. At some point I want to go, well, you can get away with it, Korra, because Korra has a really hard time getting into the Avatar state in, like, the first season. So it's like, so if you can't do that, and there's all these preconditions for you to do it, then there's already a great limit on what you can do in the series, because, like, she can't do this, and she's not going to be able to do this until much later in the game, then that's cool. But if it's like, you can't enter the Avatar state until you get to a certain level in the game, or what if you can't enter the Avatar state until it's like you're level 40 or level 50 or whatever, if there's a grinding thing or whatever, right? So
have you heard of Devil's Third? And if so, is it something you'd like to play?
I've only heard the name before.
I think I want to say that's a Nintendo game.
It sounds familiar, but
I think it's one of those pretty bloody ones.
Oh, is it?
It's supposed to have, like, a mature rating or something?
Yeah, Devil's Third was the thing that we were showing off at E3 in the Treehouse Direct.
Yeah, it was like one of the last things they were showing off, because they were like really proud that they had this title, wasn't it? Wasn't it that one?
Yeah, they were really happy because they're like, we're going to show you guys.
I think it's cool that Nintendo has a title like that. It's just that's not generally a game I would have played. I like my fun, safe games.
Yeah. So, Haunted Technician is saying, okay, you only enter you get the Avatar state towards the end of your first playthrough of Korra, which is only like 4 hours. Because, as we understood, Korra is a very small game.
Yeah.
Which might be fine. Like, I think it's only $15, and it kind of feels like...
No.
Is it more than that?
I think it's around 30.
Oh, okay.
30, 40. It's not a full $60 game. I think it's around 30.
Yeah.
I know everyone's been going on about the Wii U version, but there's also a 3DS version. I don't think I've seen anything about the 3DS version, if it's the same thing, if it's made by the same studio, even, because I've not looked it up.
I kind of feel now that if I was going to...
it's $15.
Like I feel like if I was going to play a game that is based on a cartoon, we have gotten to a point in the evolution of not just consoles, but just basically in, like, gaming graphics and ability, is that I want it to look like the cartoon at all times. Which is very, very... That's a huge thing to have to put on somebody to say, like, well, this needs to look like the cartoon all the time. But that's what I want. I want to feel like when I'm playing it, it's like I'm playing a 2D cartoon in 3D or whatever. I don't want it to feel like, we made a 3D model and look at how she's shaded. And look at us, like, I don't want Korra to look like a 3D shaded whatever that's been dropped into whatever. Like, it's like... Because... I don't want it to look like an N64 game on the 3DS kind of deal. Like, Ocarina of Time looks better than a lot of the things that I remember. Ocarina of Time 3D looks a lot better than Ocarina of Time...
Quite nice. Really
N64, right? And I'm like, so that's what I want. Things also like Wind Waker, right? Wind Waker, when it came to I know these are not cartoons, but this is what I kind of mean, is that when Wind Waker HD got made, when I looked at Wind Waker HD for the first time, I just kind of went, like, jaw drop. I'm like, holy Christ, that's how that game should have always looked. And this was at PAX. And then I went home, and I decided, I gotta look up, what did the game actually, because then I started seeing screenshots and stuff, and so like, what did the game actually look like? And I saw somebody, like, put up a GIF that's like, here's the HD mode, and then it flips to, like, here's, and of course it's 4:3, it's like, here's what the other thing is. I'm just like, it looked like hot garbage. Like, to my eyes, I'm like, I am that jaded now, where it's like, this game looked like this 16:9 gorgeous masterpiece back then. That's how I remember it now. And it's so awful that's kind of the case, but I'm like, that's what when I think about what Ocarina of Time looked like originally compared to what we can do now, it's like, I would not want to play like a Korra game that looks like that. And I always feel like whenever a licensed thing makes its way to the 3DS, if you're not willing to spend a shit ton of time making everything look like it should be a cartoon, then you're not playing a cartoon. You're going to play whatever we could put together in 3D models fast enough and down-res enough to fit in this, like, 320 by whatever, and it's like, so...
So, I didn't know this because I've never played Dark Cloud 2, but in Dark Cloud 1, as you go through dungeons, you get parts of the cities back because they've been, like, taken by an evil genie.
Oh, no.
And you rebuild the cities and you can rebuild them in different ways to make them happy. But this one sounds really cool, where you get to build them and then go 100 years into the future and see how they grow.
Oh, no.
What?
That
sounds awesome.
That is my shit. That is my jam.
Like, I really think you like Dark Cloud. I've never played Dark Cloud 2, but now I want to.
I fucking love Terranigma. Oh my god. Oh, shit.
Also, now you know Beej's weakness of video games.
Oh my god. I loved ActRaiser. I never played that far into it, but ActRaiser was like, it's like, hey, here, we'll give you a side-scrolly thing where you beat guys up. Now we're going to give you a thing where you get to, like, build a city. And I'm like, yeah, I can deal with this. It's simplified, whatever, but it's like, games are my jam.
You have to go around and talk to people, because you can put it down, like a building down, then you can move it, and you can talk to people, and they'll be like, yeah, this is really good, but I'd like to have a thing closer here, or whatever.
Yeah.
So you try to find the optimal way to build a town, and there's several of them.
Right. Oh, man. What a neat idea.
I kind of want to see if we can get a hold of... We need a...
Dark Cloud 1 and 2, though, what are they out for?
They were on PS2. I don't know if they're on...
Yeah, well, we will never be playing that game on stream. My apologies.
What?
But I will never be playing that game on stream, but I don't... This controller, which you can't see because it's very hard to do, this is not my jam. This is not my thing I play. I'm very sorry.
It's not that hard. You'd get used to it.
I will miss out on good games, I guess. You can play it all you want, I guess.
I guess so. I was wondering if they have it out on the PSN store.
Oh, maybe.
Like, if that was something they brought back out. But I could probably hunt down some copies and use PS2 and play it at home. Or something.
I'm sure somebody has a PS2 they can lend you. In the Allure group, I'm sure somebody has an old one sitting around.
Well, that's probably true.
Yeah. Please don't buy a PS2 just to play a game on it and put it in the house. Oh, they bring in Dark Cloud 3 as well.
Wait, there's a third one?
Apparently.
Ooh.
DC 1 was a bit more of a random dungeon crawler. Was it really like a roguelike? Was that the idea? Like that it's just kind of generates some dungeons and you fight?
I don't remember it being a roguelike. But I played it a long time ago. No, it's not on PSN. That's fine. There are used shops around here. I can find stuff when I get there. I'm playing so many... I have a lot of games in my own backlog, and I've put down Fantasy Life because we keep playing Hyrule Warriors because you have time off.
Like it is my fault that we were playing. You played Hyrule Warriors for how long while I was sleeping this morning?
Oh, you don't understand this. I play Hyrule Warriors about 3 hours a day while you're at work.
Yeah.
And this morning, I think I played for another 2.5 hours, and I got a little bit bored of grinding redeads for Zelda's badges. So I was hungry, and I realized I should probably eat, because that's how my day always goes. I get up, and I play Hyrule Warriors to get badge things, and then I'm like, oh gee, I'm hungry. Oh, I haven't eaten in 5 hours, and I didn't eat breakfast because I was like video games.
Oh.
And so then I eat.
The Dark Cloud 3 thing might not be an announcement, it might just be a rumor. But whatever.
So I play that game a lot when you're not around.
If I was to play... did you ever play Mike Tyson's Punch-Out on his stream?
I don't know.
Because if I was to play Punch-Out, I'd probably play like the newer one, the Wii one, where I can actually punch with the things, but then I also probably want to bring in a balance board and just be all about doing that. Or we can just play the rhythm boxing game. Bring in Wii Fit U? They have that in there, don't they? Yeah. They have Rhythm Kung Fu now, right? That's the new thing?
Yeah. No, that was in the other one too.
Because I know they had rhythm boxing in Wii Fit and Wii Fit Plus, and then Wii Fit U, I think, added the Rhythm Kung Fu as a new thing as well. Because I think all the stuff you can get from the originals.
I have like a huge backlog of DS and 3DS games.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, but not all of them are ones that I wanted to play. I guess we could have you play some.
I'm trying to think of that one, Radiant Historia. It's an RPG where you keep going around in different time slots.
Oh.
I believe it's an Atlas game.
Okay.
Atlas makes a lot of those kinds of games. I bought it the day it came out because I know that Atlas doesn't always have runs of games, and I'm like, this game sounds amazing, and I still haven't played it because...
Tell them about Fantasy Life if they're not aware.
Fantasy Life?
Yeah.
Okay, I like to describe Fantasy Life as Animal Crossing the RPG. Because it's kind of, I'd say, the best description for it.
It's good.
So you can kind of do whatever you want, but
you
there
play
is
as
a
a cute little
storyline.
avatar thing.
You get an avatar.
Yeah.
You start. They call them. You have careers. They call them lives. So you.
It's basically all about the job system and just playing in an RPG world.
You start one job. I think you can pretty well technically do the entire game under one job if you want, but there's 12, and as you pick up jobs, you can do different things to gain. I think it's called bliss.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of different
Sure
categories that you can up, but as you can't fish unless you've taken the fishing license and actually learned how to fish. You can take like the tailoring license and go and fish after you've done that, but before that you can't fish. So I have done all 12 now, but I need to move because I didn't want to go too far out of town and not be able to fish and mine for rocks and build armor.
That's cool.
So yes. Also, yes, I do own The World Ends With You and 999, and I still haven't played The World Ends With You, and I'm really annoyed at 999. And I need to finish it so I can play the sequel.
John Madden. Since you mentioned Terra Enigma, this is from Phil Hammer. Do you remember the confusion thing that certain enemies could do to you? Yes, I remember confusion, because Terra Enigma is a game like Zelda, where it is an active battle, like you're running around and just hitting people. Mm-hmm. And so confusion in an RPG would normally be like, oh, maybe I'll attack the wrong guy or I'll do the wrong thing or whatever. But it's hard to do that when it's an active battler, right? Because you're gonna swing and hit. So what they did instead, if I remember this correctly, is they reversed all your controls, and then they would rotate them, and then they would reverse them again, and they'd rotate them again. It'd just be like you'd be running around, and while you're confused, your controls, you'd be like running right, and all of a sudden be running up, and then you'd be like running right again, and you'd be like, okay, well, right still works, so you'd hit left, and you'd go down. So they would just kind of scramble controls until everything, it was really a pain in the ass, but... Yeah, I never played Hybrid Haven on N64. That sounds really familiar, though. I haven't also, like, a lot of the ones like Sin and Punishment. I was thinking about getting Sin and Punishment, which is supposed to be a really good N64 rail shooter, because they released it on the Virtual Console. I was like, I should totally play that, but I did not play that. And I don't really know if it matters that much to me, because I realize that rail shooters are, again, it's kind of not my jam either, so... I mean, there's a lot of stuff I didn't play back in the day, because as a kid, you don't have a lot of disposable income, so you mostly confine yourself to renting games, but then when you can only rent a game for, like when Chrono Trigger came out, as an example, I heard that it was supposed to be really good. As I realized from a lot of people who, like I rented Final Fantasy 3, Final Fantasy 6 in America, or in Japan, sorry. When I played Final Fantasy 6 in Japan on a rental, I rented it for a week when I was vacationing with my parents in Red Deer, and they're like, yeah, it's fine, you can rent. We were like in like a trailer, and I'm there for 2 weeks. The first week I'm going to yearbook camp to learn things, and because I was sent there by the school, they're like, yeah, you can go to yearbook camp if you want. Like, awesome, because that's what I was big into in as a high school activity. And then the other week was like, we're just going to be in Red Deer because we got 2 weeks off. Why don't we just be in Red Deer and do that? So my parents got to be free of me for a week, which was, I'm sure, cool for them. And they had the trailer to themselves. And then I come back and I was there for the time too. But I rented Final Fantasy VI, Final Fantasy 3 here. And I played, like, I think up to the train segment or something, and I was really just giving her. But my parents were like, don't sit in the trailer all day and play Super Nintendo. We have to go out and do things and do whatever and have fun. And I realized, I'm like, RPGs take a long time.
Yep.
And I should have known that because I played Dragon Warrior back when I was really young, and that took a hell of a long time. But it was just kind of like I left that unfinished and realized that this has to go back to a store in Red Deer who rented it to me.
I think I have 3 for the DS if you wanted to play that.
Yeah, but that's not the same as Final Fantasy VI. But I know you have 3. I think I have Final Fantasy IV for the DS.
I have all of the DS versions that came out.
I figured out after a while Final Fantasy's not my thing either.
I've not played much of it.
What?
I don't know why I acquired so much of it.
My
Maybe
thing is-
because it was in the used bin.
My thing is Dragon Quest. I love Dragon Quest. I love beating the crap out of slimes. I love metal slime hunting.
I really like the character design. I can't stand that
Well,
game.
it's Akira Toriyama, the same guy who did Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I know, and I really like his character designs, and I really like the way slimes look, and I still can't stand that game.
Slimes are so cute. Did we get a slime when we went to Japan? I think we bought a stuffed slime.
I don't remember getting a slime.
I thought we did.
Out of the millions of plushies we bought, I don't remember the slime. We could go look in the bins.
Yeah, we should have a look. We have giant bins.
We've got three bins at
3
least of
bins now,
plushies.
something like that.
We really need to set up some netting or something so I can display those.
Arclight's been realizing that most games aren't his thing. It's kind of like, that's
Games should be fun. If
Yeah.
you enjoy grinding games, there are plenty of those. If you enjoy RPGs or JRPGs, there's lots of those. If you like puzzles, rhythm games, there's plenty of those. If you like phone games like Candy Crush, those exist. You should enjoy the games you like.
Yeah, it's so true. So I would like to play Dragon Quest 2 at some point. Well, and I don't know if that's going to be. I don't even think that'll be on stream when we do that. I just kind of want to at some point get a copy of that and just try it. But no. Actually, it's a good point that Memo brings up whether we will talk longer than the game playing was. I think we're going to wrap it up because it's 11 o'clock, and it was fun. And Julia Mon crocheted a metal slime plush and never able to sell. Did you crochet out a gray or some sort of like silvery yarn? I'm curious.
Ooh.
Oh, 100th edition. I'm glad you're enjoying Bayonetta 2. King James Enigma.
Yeah, finally bit the bullet and joined Patreon.
My apologies that you've thrown some money our way, and thank you for doing that.
We hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, we hope it's I hope that this.
I'm looking forward to this year.
That this is all chill. That you guys really like. I hope that we come up with some great stuff. Obviously, I have a feeling we will, but I also hope that everyone's feeling like they're going to get
it's
some
a silvery
value.
gray, and they put a quarter inside.
Oh,
So they can drop mad loot.
yeah.
That's a great idea, actually.
So if somebody ever splices that thing open, they see the quarter.
Oh, I don't like the idea of someone ripping open a plushie.
No.
Especially a handmade one. I will cut them.
You know what I did like when I like Secret of Mana, Seiken Densetsu 2, I think that was, or whatever. But Secret of Mana was a lot of fun because, I mean, it was grindy. Like it's Zelda-like.
Well, no, I played a DS Secret of Mana game.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which one that is, but it was. I didn't like it, and I got stuck, and I didn't know what to do.
Oh, okay.
I was kind of mad.
Was this?
It had something to do with a giant tree.
Yeah, there was the world tree or whatever
I think
it
it was called like the Tree of Life, or something like that was its subtitle.
What I liked about it, and what I also didn't like about it, was that I liked the fact that it was an active battler, like as in the adventure style of game where you run around and you hit things, as opposed to getting into random encounters. It's like, no, if I hit a thing because it's there, then I hit a thing, and if it hits me back, it hits me back. But what I liked about that was the whole, if I attack you with a spear, I get better at using a spear. If I attack you with a sword, I get better at using my sword, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then I level those up. The thing I didn't like about it was things like, if I attack you using my spear, and then I make it to a new town, and I have this level 5 spear, And then I get to a town. I'm like, there's a better spear, and I buy that. That new spear is like level friggin' 1, and that drove me crazy because it was like I got really good at using the spear, and I leveled up the spear, but not my spear ability. So, like Final Fantasy II, when I played that, which is the like Final Fantasy II in Japan. That, I think, was based more on if you attack with a sword, you get really good using a sword. So if you buy a better sword or find a better sword, then good for you, but you've also leveled up your ability to attack with the sword. And I was like, that was cool. I liked that. But Secret of Mana was more like, oh, you attack with these gloves. You attack with a glaive or whatever.
That was part of the one that I was in.
And it's like, I leveled this thing up to a certain level, and I should buy the better thing so I can level up further. But it's like, no, you buy that, you go back to level 1 for that, and you have to... I was like... So that I found frustrating. All the magic, it was like you have to use all your magic all the time, but I'm like, that means I'm constantly using magic.
It's heavy on the grinding then too.
Yeah.
Because that means if you have something really low level that you decide you want to level up, you have to go back to an
area that's earlier
area
so
that you can actually level that up
use
with.
it. And then you're in this position of, oh, I guess I need to use the healing magic way more, and then oh, you do level up your weapon skill, so it goes to the next version of the weapon. That doesn't sound familiar to me for some reason. Like, I thought it was like a thing where, and maybe they changed that in like a different version of it, or maybe that is just the way the Super Nintendo version works. I don't remember it. I can't remember, but maybe that was the case. Maybe it was that you level up your weapon use as opposed to leveling up the weapon, but just that whole idea of having to level up your magic. And then all the magic had to be upgraded individually. And I was just like, so, I don't know. But
There's always Golden Sun.
yeah, maybe someday. Oh, okay. Tripson, I think, is pointing out. If you have a level 5 sword, but you get that new spear, and you're fighting on level 1 again because you're now going to fight with a spear for a while. I'm like, that was, I think, the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds more better.
Yeah, because now you're trying to level up all your different things because the things are like, if you level up all your different things, then you never know when one thing is going to be better against something else. But yeah, all right. Original Secret of Mana had spheres needed to get the next level of the weapon, but you did level up the weapon use, not the weapon. Okay. Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be it for this week.
Yeah.
Much later than we normally go, obviously, but then again, I get to sleep in.
Had some fun chatting.
Yeah. Play some more.
Beej does not twerk in the morning, so it's okay to be up a little later tonight.
I had commented that the amount of
Friday nights is still a thing. It will be starting in January, sometime in January. What day in January is not yet clear.
Yeah. The only thing that stops is weekly loading ready run sketches. That doesn't mean that loading ready run sketches have stopped. It just means the weekly aspect.
Yeah.
Because we have always done a weekly sketch. That is something that we always depended upon. The Year of Lure, which is 2014, that codified it very specifically. We are kickstarting this to be able to do weekly sketches.
And Crap Shots will start. James said January 13th is when Crap Shots will be going again because they're taking a little bit of break. Everyone's very tired. There's been 7 days of filming. Yeah.
It's funny, too, because, did we mention at the beginning of the stream that the 24th we were out doing something, and, on the 25th, it was Christmas Day, but we did some stuff then, not lure stuff, but we just did stuff.
No, on the 25th, Ian and Graham went and shot B-roll for the empty scenes because it was Christmas, therefore nobody was around.
Yeah, nobody knew what we did. We got up and we had Christmas.
We had Christmas.
And then we came in here and streamed.
We came in here and
for 4 hours.
And then we had dinner.
Yeah.
And then we went to a movie.
Yeah, that's right. Then we went home and had dinner, and then once we were done the dinner, then we went to a movie with everybody, because apparently it's a thing. And then on the 26th...
we went Boxing Day shopping.
At 9 o'clock in the morning.
And then we hung out and watched Star Trek in the evening.
Yeah, then we hung out and watched Star Trek in the evening. And then on the 27th was Alex's birthday. but it was also our friend Manny's birthday.
Yeah. So,
And
we
so
went,
we
we
went-
hung out with her and played video games.
And then after that,
Board games, not video
we
games.
went and played board games for a while, and then we came and did some stuff with Alex and everybody else, I think, in the evening.
I
Or
mean,
did we film?
the loading time
Holy
being
crap, what
yeah.
did we do?
So I know loading time is dependent on a specific level on Patreon, but I know there's been footage of a bunch of the sketches that have been previously done. So I'm sure there'll be still some catch up on that going on.
Yeah.
Especially this last sketch.
Yeah.
I filmed some of that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Loading time in the new year is definitely is dependent upon the Patreon hitting 10K. So, I mean, if you guys are keen for loading times, it's I know that it's a requirement. You put some more money into it. Don't go crazy. I never want anyone to not make rent or not have food for the
Eat
month,
food,
obviously.
yeah.
So,
Eat food, make
that,
your
but-
rent.
but you tell your you know what I always think is great is tell your friends, let them know if you know other people who are into us or they like the stuff. It's why don't you kick them $5 for the month, for the year, maybe even just for a few months. That's fine too. A little bit more of that's kind of cool. We went and saw Into the Woods,
Yes.
which Heather had neither seen before or heard of.
Nope, but it was awesome.
And I had seen the stage production when I was in grade 8. A bunch of us went to Calgary. I think it was our band. All of us, we went on because the drama group was going, so I think we had gone to because everybody could go at the same time. So we all went to go see Into the Woods as a stage production, which is about 3 hours long. And in that production, I didn't know what this was, and so they did it, and I'm like, oh, good, it's a musical. I don't think I'm a musical guy, but but I don't think I'm a musical guy, musical theater guy. And so we watched it. It was really fun to see. Oh, they make all the different fairy tales interact with each other. That's really cool. And then you get all the way to the end of the first half of it, and it's intermission. It's everything wraps up, and I'm like, okay, so we're done? And no, this is intermission. I'm like, well, what the hell else are they going to do? They wrapped everything up. And it's oh, well, more things happen. What exactly could it... So we go back in and we sit down. And, yeah. And everything goes to shit. And it's awesome. And you realize, so if you haven't seen the play, going to see the movie was great for me because it reminded me a lot of stuff in the play. And a lot of the songs are in there and all this other stuff. And so that was really cool. A lot of the things that I'd completely forgotten about that happened in the play, obviously I remember that. When the princess did Agony, because when I heard it start, all this stuff from grade 8 just comes flowing back because I hadn't heard that song in years, and all of a sudden they just start doing it. I'm like, oh shit, this is going to be so good because they picked two great guys for this. I thought
if anything else in that movie, the Agony part is probably what makes that movie the best.
It's a great little point in the film. It's a lot of fun.
I was on board with the movie the moment I found out fairy tales was involved because I really like things to do with fairy tales. I will watch really crappy anime if it has to do with fairy tales. Even if I don't like it, I will watch it.
Yeah, you haven't watched Pre-Tier yet.
I own Pre-Tier.
I know.
I've seen it 3 times.
Oh, you have seen it 3 times. Okay.
Yes.
I know you owned it, but you were I thought this was one you were going to get to watching, but...
Oh no, I've owned that for years.
Yeah.
I love Pre-Tier. It's based on Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
That's what I mean. Yeah, if you want to enjoy if you have seen the play, I say go see the movie. It may not be as good as the play if you've because we have friends who have Mike and Tifa Robles, who are friends of Loading Ready Run and of Desert Bus and whatnot. They are big Disney fans, and they have seen Into the Woods. I think probably several times. It sounds like from the way they're into it, and they did not like the movie as much, but they said they liked the movie. I think one of them tweeted about it.
There was no narrator in that movie. Was there?
In a way, but I can't say anything about that.
Not really.
Yeah. So it was really. They said we really loved the play. And we were surprised at the things that got left out, but it was a really fun ride and it was really enjoyable nonetheless. So that's kind of how they put it. And it's so. I would say you might have the same experience. If you love the play, you're probably going to love the movie because of all the stuff that goes on in it. If you haven't seen it and you're keen enough on musicals that you're like, okay, I'll give this a shot. There's a lot of music in this because it is stem to stern. It is a musical. But yeah,
I have not. I either haven't seen the anime fairy tale if it's supposed to be the good one. If it's the one that I think that I'm possibly confusing it with that, then it's It's awful, and it's about 12 pets that constantly die. So if it's not that one, I haven't seen it yet. If it is that one's awful.
Yeah. Feri no
I
Shippo.
have not played Wolf Among Us, and I have not read Fables, but I am aware of Fables, and I will eventually read Fables because I have to. What's up?
I was trying to remember how fairy tale is translated in Japanese. It's Yosei no Shippo or something like that. Fairy tale, because it has to do with their tails. They all have tails.
I remember one specific anime that was about 12 girls, and it's like one of those harem things.
Yeah.
And each one, it's based on the zodiac, but each one comes back.
Because they're a pet that the guy had that died?
Yeah, it was a pet that he took care of. They died.
I thought that was
like,
Happy Lesson.
Not Happy Lesson.
Not Happy World.
No, Happy World's about an angel. It's 3 episodes long.
Right. Anyway, we were wrapping up. Maybe we should just wrap up. I just realized we got back into this. Like, what movie did you see? I'm like, oh shit.
People are talking to me, and it's amazing.
I know. You can keep talking if you want. I'm not going to take you away from all this. I will stop.
I'm trying to read what they've said.
Oh, Wolf Among Us is in... Oh, right! Yeah, that came out recently. I saw Big B Wolf's involved in that.
Wolf Among Us?
Yeah, Wolf Among Us is the Telltale game that's based in the Fables universe. I think I saw it was like... They had it for free over the Christmas holidays, and I downloaded it.
Okay, yeah, I might have that on a list somewhere. I don't have
Maybe it was
that.
just cheaper.
That sounds like something... Oh yeah, Fruits Basket's good, except it's better in manga form. So much loose ends in anime. Oh, that was annoying. Yeah, this is why I really like Fruits Basket. Though, I really think if you like Princess Tutu, awesome. If you like Magical Girl and don't mind a bit of a harem type thing, Pre-tier is really good because she doesn't just transform as one thing. She actually transforms with each of the guys. So she has 7 different outfits.
I don't think Heather should play Wolf Among Us yet until she actually reads maybe the first
I would prefer,
volume of Fables.
I would prefer to read some of the source material before playing a game based on it. That seems like a thing I would prefer.
Yeah.
But
I think it will set you up for the universe very well too.
Yeah.
Knowing a bit about that universe is really important. At least reading the first Snow White Rose Red arc, I think, is really good to do to set up how that game or how the set up how the universe operates, and then actually get the get what's going on for the game if you want to play the game. But
it's set after the game. Oh, well, in that case, I could totally just play the game. I'm always, whenever it's like, oh, this thing's based on a thing, I'm always like, but I want to read the thing. I own Long Live the Queen, and I'm terrible at it, but I keep trying because I get mad. I was super mad because the first time I made it through, there's like a thing that happens where if you eat chocolates, you get poisoned. And the first time my character, she was just like, ugh, I don't really want to eat those. And I was like, okay. And then the second time, I couldn't stop her because I guess I leveled up in a different thing, and she ate them, and then she was dead, and I was like, oh shit, I just assumed that was something I could choose not to do. Whoops. It's a very not easy game.
It seems to me like a
spreadsheet game.
It feels to me like almost like in the same way that Dark Souls is, where it's like, oh, I effed up. Okay, going back to what I was doing, we're going to do this again, and we're going to dodge left instead of right. Fucked up. I guess I better go back.
It would probably work better if I actually saved after each thing, instead of just blazing forward, and it would probably also work better if I stopped skimming some of the stuff I was reading and just went... Because sometimes there'll be like really large chunks and be like, okay, something, but I don't care. Oh, I'm dead.
Lysander's kind of annoyed with themselves because they wanted to watch Korra after they watched all of Airbender, which was that was my choice as well, because Heather had said, well, have you seen are you going to watch Korra? I'm like, no, and because I haven't watched Airbender, and so you had said, well, then you better sit down and watch Airbender, and I'm like, I kind of want to see it, but not really. And you're like, no, seriously, sit down and watch it.
You were sitting down and watching this anime.
And what is funny to me about that is that when I watched Avatar, there were so many... The pacing was so similar
to Rurouni Kenshin for me. Which is really weird to say, I think, but when you watch Rurouni Kenshin, the first 13 episodes are like, we're going to introduce Kenshin and Kaoru, and then we're going to introduce a few episodes later, they're going to do some things that's going to be funny and light. We're going to introduce another thing like a little bit later that's like, here's this other character that you see in the opening but you have no idea about, and then we're going to see this other character, and they're going to be like this or that or whatever. And it's,
How do I escape?
hit the power symbol,
Uh-huh.
hit the save,
Uh-huh.
hit exit the main menu,
Okay. I thought we should put it on the menu.
and you just quit. Just,
So it's saved. Deal with it.
okay. So, it's because I like the other music better to sit and talk about. And then once you're about 13 episodes in, then there's like the little where it's like we have more stuff to develop. Like now there's actually this hook that we're going to hang everything on, and then it starts to spiral from there, and we have the team together. We have Team Kenshin together, who now are like a bunch of people who do the whatever. And so that was the same thing with Avatar for me. It's like Avatar just kind of slowly starts rolling. You don't really know there's much of a problem. There's like a big problem, but nobody really talks about it. And then once they have the hook to hang on, it's like, now I know something is actually happening. And then it starts really rolling.
Kenshin, like I got bored of Kenshin when it hit the. I've become a fighting anime of just this tournament style thing, so I stopped watching. But I did own the first 2 box sets for a while.
Okay.
And those are awful box sets in North America. The ones that came out originally, I'm sure they've fixed that by now.
Yeah.
But they were these boxes that I wasn't even sure about buying because you could shake them and you could feel all the contents move. Oh, pretty. And when I opened it, all the discs were in paper things that were small, but on top of that, it was a box with just a lid that had kind of a lip, so it didn't really. You couldn't stand it up unless you had stuff to sandwich it with. And I was so angry that they would make something like this as a DVD.
Yeah.
It's so dumb. Why?
Yeah.
Box sets were supposed to be pretty and good and have nice artwork and look nice on my shelf.
Yep.
Not be things like Scryed, which are weird trapezoid things that can't fit on a shelf at all. Not things like that. If anything, maybe something like Full Metal Alchemist with the nice tin, or even the Ghost in the Shell box with the cool magnet thing.
Mm-hmm. The Ghost in the Shell boxes are so nice.
Anything like that, but not what Kenshin did.
Yeah. There's some of those box sets just turn out to be straight like trash, but I love the Stelvia of the Universe set because I bought Stelvia of the Universe and it came in like individual DVDs, and I got it like all as a thing from, because we bought a lot of stuff from Right Stuff, so I just bought, because I really like Stelvia. I thought it was great.
Things, yeah.
And then they also had like, oh well, you can also buy the box set. Which I'm like, that's weird. It's really cheap. Why is it so cheap? Well, it's because it is literally the box to keep everything in, and it has like one DVD in it. And so I got this. I'm like, okay, they only had the front image of it. I'm like, oh, this is going to be a really good looking box, and it's a tin. It's going to be a tin for my entire thing, and it's come with one extra DVD, but F it, I'll throw that away. It shows up. It's this thick.
Yeah.
And what it is you slide the top of the tin off. So it's like your standard size.
Cool design.
You slide it off, and then you go foomp like that, and 8 very thin plastic cases come out. And they're all different colors, if I remember correctly. And what you do is you transplant your DVDs from your very nice, thick Amaray boxes into this. And then all of your all that paper that you have that like covers your Amaray boxes that came with all this set, you can just throw that shit away, because now it all goes in this tiny little box, in this tiny little tin. It sits on your shelf in a little tin. I have all of that stuff still, because I cannot bring myself to like, if it'd be one thing if it was like we gave you a way to keep all of your little slips of paper. They go in there, you can slide them all in, you can keep all that shit together. But no, they don't. It's like you take all your DVDs out, you put them in the boxes, and you get rid of all your Amaray boxes. I'm just kind of like, I hate this shit.
Yeah, like, I mean, I like the concept that they're going for.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's like buying like the super save packs or a
the saves,
where it's like, oh, well, I can get the cheaper version and it will take up much less space on my bookshelf.
Yeah.
And I think that's cool, but
Yeah.
I understand why that's not. It doesn't fit in with the collector mentality.
Sketchy Details has also seen Stelvio, which is awesome. Thank you, guys.
I saw someone mention Slayers earlier. The first 3 seasons are definitely awesome. The other 2 are okay. All the OVAs are good-ish, depending. I remember Graham describing Beej's arrival once as a diesel apocalypse. I assume they have it covered.
My favorite thing I've ever read about diesel engines is that they sound like a skeleton masturbating in a file cabinet. It has stuck with me forever. So,
okay. But seriously, if you haven't seen Slayers and you like slapstick 90s anime that has a really good English dub, and I don't say that lightly because I don't watch English dubs, but Slayers I will watch an English dub every time. They brought out seasons 1 to 3 on a nice thing that costs, I think, around $60 at most, whereas season 4 and 5 are stupid and are only 13 episodes for the same price.
Right.
But seasons 1 to 3 are amazing. You should watch them.
It would be, it's funny because, I mean, we have all the cardboard box sets for that kind of stuff too, and I kind of feel like I'd love to get all the crap that we have on our shelves that is, like, big. I have often toyed with the idea of getting a, like buying like a 6-pack or an 8-pack Amore box and then designing a cover that kind of pulls it all together and then just shoving everything into those, like the Mahotsukai tie box that we have. I really like that. What I don't like about it is they're impossible to find, and especially the ones that are the right size. So trying to replace something like that is incredibly complicated. But yeah, it's I would really like to be able to. I'd like to be able to like gather up more of that shit and be like, then I can keep all the inserts and like inside the box, and then I can.
Well, you remember we got that box set of Mushishi, and we have all these extra pieces of cardboard hanging out on top of the bookshelf because inside the box set that you put your DVDs in, that cardboard insert so that the first DVD doesn't rattle around has all this super nice artwork on it.
Yeah,
and you're
the
like,
Mushishi set,
I can't throw this out.
No, because normally it's like a piece of fucking cardboard that you can just pull out and be like, F it, it's gone, right?
Well,
like,
this is not usually doesn't even have anything on it, or it's an ad.
Yeah, but the thing they made was like, it's this nice finished box that has Mushishi on one side, and we're like, oh, okay, whatever. But when we pulled it out, we're like, it has beautiful artwork on like all the sides of it. We can't throw this out. So we unpopped it and flattened it, and we have it like in a spot, and it's like all the Mushishi DVDs are in the thing.
Oh.
But yeah, okay.
That's too bad.
I'm going to cover a couple things really fast that's in here. Olivia S. Bulge mentioned, I nominate Sexy Commando Sugoyo Masaru-san, which is very funny, and Ian and I looked that up and watched that fan subs for that a long time ago. It was a lot of fun. And then Olivia's Bulge also mentions that one with Freddie Mercury, yes, Cromartie High School.
Beej is a fan of that.
Which is one of my favorites.
I feel like it's weird.
Good
I haven't
Christ.
really watched it, so
it's because
I won't judge.
I love
too much.
I love great gag anime. We're trying to do anime nights with people from Loading Ready Run at our place. It worked well for a while, but it's kind of like
well, we've been busy.
We've all been busy.
We've been super busy.
And so but we've been watching Nichijou as a thing. And what has happened is I want to kind of be like anime club, how I used to do it, where it would be like, we're going to watch 3 or 4 shows tonight. Mm-hmm. One of them's going to be Nichijou, and we're going to watch 3 other things. We're going to kind of have series that we can watch, some long, some short, so we can kind of watch stuff and get through them and deal with whatever. And so then what it turned into is we're going to watch 4 episodes of Nichijou tonight, because that's all everybody wants to watch, which makes complete sense, because it's so good. But when we run out, we're going to have to watch something else. So what I'm hoping that we get to cram in there, and I've already given it all to Alex, because I'm like, you shouldn't have to wait for this, because I don't know when we're going to watch this, and you really need to see this, is Daily Lives of High School Boys, Danshi Kokosei no Nichijou, which, again, has Nichijou in the title, and we've been calling it Nichi Bros. And it's basically just, it's a bunch of guys in high school, and it's all the stupid shit they do. Then basically everybody is kind of dumb, and they get up to dumb things. It's what I really liked about what was that show that we watched recently where everybody is dumb but in a different way, and the way that they react to each other, one of them's always smarter than somebody else. Oh, Gekkan Shoujo Nozaki-kun.
Oh, right.
What's lovely about Nozaki-kun is that everybody is equally dumb and equally smart, but when they interact with somebody else, somebody's always
they always have two different statuses with each other, and those things will change. So somebody else who is of like being like a dummy next to somebody else ends up being like a voice of reason to somebody else, and there's a weird kind of chain how that all works with everybody.
I feel like Lady Rihanna and I would get along with our watching anime. She's mentioned Fushigi Yugi and what was the other one?
Amigami-sama, Amagoddess, Magic Knight Rare Earth.
Magic Knight Rare Earth.
Yeah. I'm disappointed.
I like magical girl stuff, and Fushigi Yugi has like a fairy tale-esque type thing to it.
I'm super.
I know it pulls at your heartstrings, and I hate that part, but I like it.
I was mad that when we got Ray Earth, like, because you have the second box that has the beautiful black flippy.
Yeah, because I found that.
And so then.
Spent all kinds of money on anime when I was that age.
And then you bought the first season, but it comes in like the shitty Bailey box kind of.
Yeah, because I couldn't. Okay, so I'd seen the first season, sort of, as an English dub on some VHS tapes, and it's really awful in English as far as I'm concerned, but I'd seen it, so when I had only so much money, and we'd gone to Calgary, and you don't understand, at $60 a disc where I lived, Calgary was like this promised land filled with anime with this one comic shop that sold manga for $5 a pop, and I was in heaven. I only had so much money, and they had a second season of Ray Earth, and I didn't really know that it even existed, so I had to buy that along with the first two seasons of Marmalade Boy, because I figured no anime goes beyond 2 seasons, so except I got screwed with that, and so I bought that, so I got this really beautiful box set. And it never occurred to me that I should ever try to buy the first one until later, and I was like, oh, I'll buy it. And so of course that was all that was.
And I remember the first one being this beautiful white box that was like a match for for the black box.
I think it's the world set now, just the two combined.
So then I ended up, I looked on the Right Stuff, and they had a sale when they were having their sale on, and I noticed they had Magic Knight Rare Earth 1 as a complete set in a white box, and I was like, that's it. That's the box, because it looks like it has the same art and everything on it. But of course, they only show you pictures of the sides. They never show you the whole box.
Yeah, so you can't really totally gauge.
So when it arrived, we got rid of the original Ray Earth box. And it's like, when that arrived, I was like, no, this is a new product. This is not the original white box. Later, Rianne has the black box in her closet, she says.
Yeah.
But yeah, that frickin' white one showed up, and I was like, oh, I'm never going to find like the original. Though, you know what I thought was pretty cool? We were in Edmonton. We went to Belrose Con, which was at a St. Albert High School, and we were performing there. So it's also like, and then we go into the swap meet area, and there's somebody who has, there are a lot of people selling DVDs. I'm like, I'll find somebody who's selling DVDs for cheap, and somebody has the Pioneer branded Chobits box with nothing else in it.
Oh, right, yeah,
it's
I remember
just the sleeve,
because
right?
That box didn't exist. They started doing a 2-box thing later.
Because they changed their name to Jenny On, too, so it's like, so this is all the... So I asked them, I said, that's super cool. What do you want for that? And they said, this? Oh, I just brought this with me so I'd have a place to, like, because I was putting DVDs in here. I don't need this for anything because I don't have the discs. Here, you can just have it.
Yeah, that was good.
So I took that home and put all of my Chobits DVDs, except the one I didn't have, in that. And now I have the beautiful original edition Chobits as Pioneer. Chobits isn't even that good of a series. But I have it!
The manga's better. But, like, the anime is... it's pretty funny.
It's pretty good. But...
Yeah, no, when we went to Calgary and I bought Ray Earth and Marmalade Boy, I also had gotten a ton of manga. I'm honestly super surprised my parents let me spend that much money, because I think I was, like, 16. And we were in Calgary for whatever reason, for like a wedding or something. And my parents, who never usually ask this question, were like, where do you want to go? And I was like, oh, well, I found a comic shop in this area. Could we go? And my parents actually were like, okay, cool. And they stood around in that comic shop for like maybe 45 minutes while I geeked out and they didn't understand.
That's super good of them to do
and
that.
I'm surprised they like watched me walk out with the stack of manga and the DVDs that I bought and were like, you just spent like $300 on, we don't understand what, but you just spent a lot of money.
Yeah, that's what happens. I bought,
when I was in
my money, but
when I was living in Edmonton, A&B Sound, which is a now defunct. It's like Best Buy. Think of it that way, but except that they sold way more CDs and they had like a huge CD section and stuff before Best Buy and Future Shop, which is what Best Buy is in Canada. Here it's Future Shop. The two of them became one company. A&B Sound was this whole. You could buy DVDs and stuff, and they had the best anime selection of anybody in Edmonton, which was great. And I showed up one day. They had Vision of Escaflowne DVD box set that also came with the Black Escaflowne figurine in another matching box, and is all shrink wrapped together. And this is the limited edition box set that you can get, because the Black Escaflowne figure was because of the movie that was coming out that had a Black Escaflowne in it. And it was $300. And so I came in there like wanting to buy that, and I was like, I don't have the money to buy that. I really want it, because we've all seen Escaflowne. I'm like, I really want to own that thing, because I want to own a thing for Escaflowne. And so I think I had asked them to keep it behind the counter for me, something like that, because I had said, you know, you guys have sales all the time. And one of the guys behind the counter was like, yeah, we do. I said, when is your next 20% off sale? Because they always have a 20% off sale for like, or they have a sale where it's like anything that's a white ticketed item is 20% off. Anything that's a yellow ticket is 10%. Anything that's a red ticket is 5%. This was white ticket. And I'm like, that means this will be $240, which I can get together. I can't get $300, but I was in university. It's like I can barely get $240 together, but I'll get that. And so
feels more doable. Yeah,
so I put it behind the counter with my name on it. I came back in like 4 or 5 days, and I walked up to the guy and I said, I'm here to buy Escaflowne. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah. I have it on hold, but he's like, oh yeah, here we go. And he took it and he's like, yeah. We've had people asking about this, where it went. So here you go, man. And I'm like, thanks. And I went downstairs and I'm like, okay, interesting. And I go downstairs and I go paying for it. And the person behind the counter, the cashier, sees that and is like, you're the... And I'm like, yeah, me. And I realized it wasn't people coming in from outside. It was people in the store waiting for the sale to buy it.
They knew the sale was going to happen.
So they're waiting for the sale and to get their discount on it.
Yeah, but if it had been put aside, they wouldn't be able to.
Exactly. Because the customer gets first rights, right?
Well,
ostensibly.
Typically, they wouldn't want you. The idea is they probably think you're coming in on a on-sale day to get it. So that's the real reason, because a store will want full-priced markup on a thing like that.
And actually, it's funny because how I got my Wii, kind of the same thing, because my mom, I asked for a Wii for Christmas, and we are not. Generally, my family is not in the business of buying things that are $250 or $300 or whatever, and especially on release, that kind of thing. It's like you're not getting a $300 thing for Christmas. That's just how it is.
Especially a thing that keeps selling out at Christmas.
Exactly. And so, first Christmas, the Wii is around, and I said to my parents, I'm like, I would really like a Wii. I know I'm not going to get one because there's no way I'm going to be able to get that, but you know, I would. If you're going to ask me what I want for Christmas, I would like a Wii.
Omnicrat, if you consider that spending $150 on buying Dark Cloud 1 and 2 is a bad decision, then my input would be, don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. You do not buy the thing.
If you're not feeling good about that decision,
you're just going to be mad about it later.
Just don't do it.
Yeah. If they're on like an amazing sale and you really want these and it's still going to cost me $150 and there's no other way to buy it, then I guess you have to deal with that. Like, maybe you should buy it. But
if you're going to start your thing with, I'm making a bad decision,
you already know it's a bad decision.
Then don't do it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you probably feel like this is probably going to be a good decision ultimately later on anyway, but it's like, yeah, I would not do it. Things that are on sale will kind of always be on sale. And if these are not on sale, they might come on sale, so... Oh, I see. You have a fair chunk of money. It's the last one in stock. Last one in stock where? While that's going on, so what happened is on Christmas Day, I'm at my parents' place, and I wake up, go into the living room, and Santa has brought this weird shaped box that's like this, and I'm like, that's interesting. And so, and I look at the box, and it says it is a garbage disposal.
because I kind of wanted a garburator for my house because I was living in a condo.
Oh, yeah,
I kind of want to put a garburator in there because that would be kind of nice. I've since changed my mind. I don't garburate stuff anymore. I don't think it makes a lot of sense to grind up a lot of that stuff and spit it into the water system. But, oh, I see. Right, if he tells us where it is, it's... Oh, I see.
Backlog 2 was made by the same people who made... Oh, level 5. Neat.
Oh, there you go.
That explains why I like them so much.
I see. So, last one's talking going to Amazon. So, it might just be from the marketplace or from whoever. All right, see you, Memo. Thank you for being by for so long. So what happened is, I see the garbage disposal. I'm like, all right, that's actually really cool. I did want to do that. And my mom says, okay, you have a choice. I'm like, that's new. Santa doesn't leave choices. It's like, so you can either have...
He only leaves mistakes.
That... Let's not talk about Christmas this year.
Sorry.
Or for the last several years.
Sorry.
So, anyway...
It was making a joke and it was in me that way.
So anyway, you can have that, and that's fine. Or you can have what is in that bag under the tree. And there's like a big snowman bag.
So.
And I'm like, okay, like, but you have to make that choice before you pick. I'm like...
Before you open
it, and I'm like... I don't know, that garbage disposal is looking pretty good. And my mom's kind of like,
She's mad that you don't want to open
and I'm like,
thing.
I don't know if I want what's in the mystery box, right? So it's like, garbage disposal seems like a pretty legit thing. And she's like, maybe you want to check the bag? Like, maybe you want what's in the bag. Like, who knows? I'm like...
And the bag could be clothing.
Yeah.
I have a thing that I've wanted.
Exactly. So, all right, let me... She's like, at least pick it up. So I'm like, okay. So I go and I grab and it's a really heavy bag. I'm like, okay, interesting. I'm like, okay.
It would be funny if it was a second garbage disposal in a different color.
That's really what I would have been... So my mom could master troll if she wanted to. So she... So I take that and I pop it open. And it is... Because I'm like, I don't know... There's no friggin' way. So I open it up and there is we staring back at me. And I'm like, there's no way. And I take this off and it's brand new, unopened, completely unmolested box. And I'm just like...
You have to understand.
I thought maybe it was like a stand-in for we will buy you a Wii later. And I'm like, no, this is an actual Wii.
Beej's mom uses boxes from several things. So most of the time when you open a thing, the box is not the thing that you think it is. Although it just came out, I find it would be really funny if your mom managed to find a Wii box.
For the Wii, and it's like, so there's nothing in that box except weights because we need to do whatever. But yeah, so I'm like, I have no words. And that's really literally what I said. I have no words. Do you like it? I'm like, yes, I like it, but I don't get it. Like, how did you get this? Because you should not be able to get this.
Christmas is over now. I don't want anything else.
Well, that was the thing. That was the thing I said afterwards. Because it's like, I don't even know how. And they said, okay, well, and my mom explained it. She had called Walmart, which is just up the road from where they live. And it's like, and she says, do you have any Wii's in stock? And they're like, no, we don't. We're not getting Wii's in stock. It's not really... and it's like, okay, well, we're supposed to be getting some in on whatever day. She's like, okay. So she calls back on that day. She's like, do you have any Wii's in stock? And the guy's like, we just got our delivery today, yes, and we are selling out. We have some left. If you want one, you're going to have to come right now. She's like, great, in the car, foop, up the hill to Walmart.
Because they won't put that stuff on hold.
Yeah, they just want to sell them all, right? So, foop, and she goes in.
You're literally not allowed to at Christmas time to put stuff like that on hold.
And so
customers even.
She flies into the store, goes to the electronics section, and says, she's like, I would like to get a Nintendo Wii. And the guy behind the counter says, and he looks down at the ground behind the counter, and she sees him look down at the ground behind the counter, and then she sees him kind of just look, like his eyes just dart to the side where there is a much, like, probably somebody in, I don't know, I'm going to say 30s or 40s, maybe that's what it was, but it's somebody who's middle-aged, who's working behind the counter with them in a tie and whatever, and is like, I have one right here. And he's just so disappointed and pulls it out from behind the counter.
No, I know that trick. I've worked at a Walmart. And we've done that.
Because she was very much ready to be like, if you have one behind the counter, I would like it, right? So he's like, here you go. And so she's like, thank you. And she pays for it and gets it in the bag and she's like, he was holding it for himself or for a friend, and he can't do that. And so now you have this Wii. And
Chances are good he was holding it for himself, because the best thing to do, even though you're not allowed to hold an item for yourself, if you put it out of sight and people can't see it, then they don't buy it.
Because they don't know it's out on stock,
if
right?
you hit the end of your shift, you can buy it, because you can't
Nobody
just be like,
purchased it.
you can't just like run off on break, and if you buy stuff on your shift, you are in so much shit.
So, the epilogue to this, first epilogue to this, is that I said, okay, well, I have a problem now, and Mom's like what? I says, I really like this. I'm amazed that you got this. It blows me away that you got one this close to Christmas, because they've only been their supply is completely constrained. There's no way to actually get these things, and why would we even have them in St. Albert? But you got one when they were and they were difficult to find for like over a year, even after this, right?
Yeah.
And I said, I had made a promise to myself. A friend of mine, I didn't tell anybody else about this, but one of our colleagues that my dad and I both work with, my dad was VP at Norquist College, and I was working in the IT department there. I said, there is somebody that I work with that he was trying to get his 8-year-old son a Wii for Christmas. He was trying every day. He was calling every place he could get. He was trying to get one of these things. And it's not like my buddy Reg, that he was bad off or anything else like that. Like, he had the money to afford this, and he could look everywhere and try to do whatever, but he could not find one of these things. And I had made a promise to myself that if I had managed to get a Wii for Christmas, that I would call him up and like first thing in the morning and say, look, Reg, I've got a Wii, and I can wait a month or two to get another one. I'm not so hard up for it that I want it, but I know your boy would lose his mind if he got a Wii under the tree. Do you want this? I'll sell it to you right now. But I did not know how I was going to end up getting a Wii, and the only way I could get one would be to get it for Christmas. And what I don't want is to give away something that you clearly worked really hard to get. And I thought that supply would not be as constrained as it was. And now I don't know what to do. And my dad said to me, he's like, look, you can do that if you want. But your mom worked hard enough to get that for you. And so you need to think about it in terms of that what and how this, like, because Reg will be able to get one, I'm sure, very soon for his family, and it'll be fine. But you need to think about it in terms of like that. And both my mom and him were like, we're really touched at the fact that you would be willing to give up something like that so that you could make this little boy's day. But you need to think about that in terms of what happened here. And I was like, okay, then I'm going to keep it. Then that's what I'll do. And they're like, okay, if that's what you says, I feel good about doing that. Because I was like in my mid-20s. It's like it didn't matter to me one way or the other. But it's like I'm 20 years old. I'm in my mid-20s. I can put up with delayed gratification. This kid would probably lose his shit if he got this. And so at that point I was like, well, then Christmas is over. I don't... Anything else you got me is great. But really, I mean, this is too much. Like, this was a lot of money and this is everything else. Please don't... Like... Giving so much stuff is just, and they're like, no, sit down and open the rest of your gifts. So my mother is crazy about, she likes to give lots of stuff, and so it's like, okay, I will sit down and we will open gifts. And so we opened gifts and stuff like that, which was fine because my nan, my mother's mother, who was still alive at the time, so she's there for Christmas as well. It's only the four of us opening gifts, and so Nan gives me hers near the end of what it is that I'm doing, and I open it up. And it's a black DS Lite, and I wanted a DS Lite as well, but I didn't ask for one for Christmas, really. I had it on my list of things that I'll eventually buy for myself, and it was like part of that list I give to my mother. And so now Nan is giving me a black DS Lite, and I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah. Well,
like, what happened this Christmas that all the cool shit just came together?
Right? Because, like, okay, I see stuff online all the time about the person who's gotten, like, the iPhone and the iPad and the new, like, 6 of the newest consoles, and, like, 10 games for each of them, and they're still whining and complaining, and I'm like, I've always been really happy when one of those things manages to hit the Christmas tree, because it never really happens, and when it does, you're like, this is it. This is the big thing, and this is forever. So the fact that you got like 2 big things is just like, whoa, like that should not have happened. That was a memorable, like that, and the time I got a Game Boy for Christmas when I was like 8 years old. And, like, really those things are just kind of like, like, haunt technicians make it, wow, my parents got me the wrong color car. Like, people who are like, I got that iPhone 6, but it was only the 64, not the 128. Or, I got this, but what was the one? Granny got me the wrong vape oil for my e-cig. Oh, yeah. Fuck you, Granny. Like, and I'm like, oh.
And I know that's not everybody. Like, I know it's a very small percentage of people. The fact that they're so fucking vocal about it on Twitter just blows my mind. And I don't know how many of those are even ironic, but just some of that shit.
I don't feel like it matters. Like, it's...
Oh, Cam the Lion got 4 to 6 Lego sets for Christmas from being in a not well-off family. Like, that's
pretty mind-blowing, too.
That's the thing. You're going to have Christmases that just kind of stick with you, that you're like, what is this thing? Like, when I was 5 or 6, my parents bought a Commodore 64. That was their first computer. And I didn't know what this thing was, and I didn't know what it did. And my uncle and my dad were, like, setting it up. My great-uncle and my dad were setting it up and having fun playing with it and teaching me how to run things on it. I was just like, this is astounding.
Yeah. I mean, I've only gotten electronics in big Ys. I got a NES once, and only because I found the one that was for the kid across the street that was being held for Christmas.
Yeah.
And because I don't think my parents would have been like, oh, video games.
Yeah.
And I found this thing, and I was like, I don't know what it does, but magical things happen, and I must have one.
Yeah.
And then, like a few years later, I got a Sega Genesis, and that's like been it for that kind of thing, even for high end things. And not even but high end, but even just the kind of thing of like that weird kind of, I guess it's just the really expensive, ostentatious purchase that doesn't seem right. Like that kind of price point, or that kind of thing that you know you really want, but you can't afford because you're too young to really afford any of it. That kind of thing was just like, this is amazing, and it will never happen again. And I mean, it never really did happen again, because trying to convince my parents that, hey, I have video games I like, you should buy them, is like not a thing. It's never been a thing.
It's always, I've had years where I've felt like fucking first world problems, where I've been like, oh, I'm so mad at the fact that we got this weird thing that I can't, like, where it's been like, I've told my parents, like, I would really like this thing. Here is everything you need to know about it. I would like this thing as a gift. Please get this for me.
Of a certain quality.
Yeah. And then you end up getting something that isn't that, isn't anywhere near that.
No, it's that, only 12 times as many of them at the $3 price point.
As opposed to the one thing that costs like $40, because it's like that one thing will last you forever, as opposed to the 30 things you get that are $1 a piece. And it's like, I wanted the thing that was quality and specific because I did my research and knew the thing that I wanted to get for that. And I always feel like such a shit, because I'm like, you didn't have to get me anything, and I shouldn't feel bad about this because I appreciate that you got me some stuff, but there's also that other side of things where it's like, you asked me what I wanted, and I, for once, actually told you something that I wanted, and then you decided to not
I feel
pay
like
attention to that, is what it felt like. It feels like you're not being paid attention to, it's less about the I got you the wrong thing, and you're just kind of like, it's more like, you asked me what I wanted, but you didn't pay attention to what I was telling you, and I don't understand why, because I really tried to be clear about it.
Yeah. It's just funny, because I actually went the opposite way as when I hit teenage years.
Yeah.
I decided that I should not give you a list, because if you really know me, and you would have noticed, and you would get me something that you think I would like, that I would probably actually like. Yeah. And it didn't have to be like an amazing thing, but you would know what I liked because you knew who I was. Yeah. And so I shouldn't have to give you a list. That also doesn't work.
No, it's true.
It's a very bad idea.
I find it one of the worst things. So. Oh, cool. Thoth had a Jewish Christmas. Well, had a first Christmas away with his Christmas with his girlfriend, away from her family. That's really cool.
They make cookies.
That's awesome.
And a meal. That's good.
Good for you. So.
I also don't really like that thing. Okay, the thing that happens, I know everyone does it, and I do it too, but it's that thing after Christmas where people are like, oh, so what'd you get? And you know what the real answer that they're looking for is, oh, I got this really amazing thing that you're going to be like, oh my goodness, this is so cool. Except most of the time I don't get the thing that they're also going to react to, but I still get things that I'm like, I really appreciate the fact that somebody went out of their way and got me this thing, because it's very nice. I get socks from your mom every year, and it's my yearly sock run, and I like it. Yeah.
I got socks from my mom this year, and they were 75% merino wool, because she heard me just raving about the fact that I bought myself 6 pair of merino wool socks online and got a really smoking deal on them. And so she bought me 3 pair of nice merino wool boot socks as well as part of my care package. And I've been like, if you had wrapped that up in a separate box and been like, here is like one of your gifts for this year, I'd have been like, sold. Because I know how much they're worth because I've done the shopping, but I also know like how that's hard to find stuff that's really good quality and everything. It's like, these are great. Then I went to go wash them and take them out of the package and realized they were mediums. So I was like, oh no, because I was so jazzed about these socks. I was telling everybody about how I got these socks as part of my care package and I love them, and realized these might not fit. And what do I do with them?
Tried them on, they fit.
And they fit. I tried them on and they just barely fit. And I'm like, oh, perfect.
I'm glad they fit because I know how much you like socks.
Yeah.
Like that.
So anyway, it is 1 minute to midnight.
Oh wow, we've been talking for a while.
Yes, we've been talking for probably too long. I don't think it's that long, but
Whatever.
we have to leave, and I would love to hang out and read more of the stuff you guys are talking about.
I'm actually feeling hungry.
Yeah, we got to go eat. So it is now officially midnight here, which is a good time for me to end this. And
getting kitchen stuff is definitely awesome, especially when you've just moved out.
And so you have been watching Beej's Backlog, as well as some extra chat at the end because it's Christmas, and why the hell not? We've been playing Shadowrun, Dragonfall, Director's Cut, and it's been a hell of a lot of fun, and we're doing some more stuff there. If you've enjoyed what you saw here on Beej's Backlog tonight, if you're catching up on YouTube and watching stuff later, why not subscribe to the stream if you want to? That's always a good idea to help support us and let us know the kind of people that are, the amount of people that are interested in watching us. But you might also just want to follow. You don't have to subscribe if you don't want to, but following lets you know when we're actually going live with the stream and lets you know all this different stuff that's going on as well. I would recommend, though, that if you are interested in what Loading Ready Run does here on Loading Ready Live, you should go check out all the stuff that we do. Actually, I missed the one thing that I was going to do because coming up next, we do stuff through all the week with Loading Ready Live, and the next thing coming up at 2 p.m. Pacific is IDDQ Derp with Alex Stacey, as well as all the other things that are going on Loading Ready Live channel. If you want to see all that stuff and find all the other stuff that Loading Ready Run does, you can go to lrr.cc if you're into the brevity thing, or just loadingreadyrun.com.
You're not going to do the whole spiel, are you?
I'm going to do most of it. I'll just... because I know that we've done some of this earlier today. So, and at loadingreadyrun.com, you'll be able to find the schedule for everything that's been going on with Loading Ready Live, and you'll also be able to find all the other things we do, including the last weekly sketch that we did for the year. We are stopping our weekly sketches, but we're continuing with everything else, such as Crap Shots, which is 0 to 60 seconds, comedy, stuff that you'll find on YouTube. You'll find our links to Feed Dump and to Unskippable, which do the Escapist magazine, and to Friday Nights, which we do for Magic the Gathering, for Wizards of the Coast, for Magic the Gathering. And there are, of course, a bunch of other things that we're going to see on there as well. But most importantly is the link to the Patreon, and that's patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. And if you're interested in subscribing to here, please do it. But if you're interested in throwing a little more money our way, or want to do that instead of subscribing, go to the Patreon and toss in $5 there, toss in $10 there, do that kind of thing, because that's something we get a bigger percentage of course. It also helps support us directly, and helps us do all the new things that are coming up, or not new things, but other things that we'll be developing throughout the year. We've already hit the Commodore Hustle checkpoint, essentially. And checkpoint is something else that we do as well, but we've already hit the Commodore Hustle stretch goal, and we're looking for $10,000 to be able to do like extra loading times and other stuff as well. And you'll be able to see all of that stuff through the Patreon, and all the cool stuff that we do in the mystery box that'll be coming out as the year rolls on. And I believe, actually, if you're interested in the stuff that I do outside of Loading Ready Run, I'm with a group called Synaptic Chaos Theater. We are an improv comedy troupe that does stuff at conventions all around. We have our first show coming up with SkinoCon in February here in Victoria, and we'll be doing hopefully other shows throughout the year. If you're interested in having us come to a convention in your town, write them and let them know that you'd like to see improv comedy. We do anime cons and gaming cons and sci-fi cons, and we're all into the geek stuff, and we're glad that you are too. And you can also check out Late Night Dub Fight at latenightdubfight.com, which is something that SCT has been doing for a few years, developed by Ian Horner, who, as you also see, is showing up with Loading Ready Run as well. And Loading Ready Run does Late Night Dub Fight with us as well. But yeah, everything else has been talked about for the things that we do on the Patreon. We've been having a wonderful time. I had a hell of a lot of fun on the Christmas stream.
Oh, Christmas stream
was so good.
best.
I had a great laugh. doing that. I would need to play. If Saints Row 4 ever comes out for the Wii U, for God knows what reason, I will finally pick it up and play it. But
it'll be some kind of Christmas miracle.
Yeah,
for
it'll
sure.
be some kind of Christmas miracle, absolutely. But outside of that, we had a great time tonight. I'm Beej.
I'm Heather.
And this has been Beej's Backlog, and we've had a wonderful time tonight. Thank you so much, everybody. Let's see whether or not we can actually get out of...
Get the mouse to move.
Get it going offline. We can.
It's moving
Look at
a little
that.
bit better this time.
So
that's awesome.
You guys have a wonderful night. We will see you again. Enjoy the rest of Loading Ready Live.